We live, champions? How we going? Oh, good on you, Jim. Thanks for gifting those 10 memberships, mate. What a bloody legend you are. Alright, everyone's got their memberships. Who won one? One. Oh, Mum won one. Richard, Riley, OH, Sebo, Daryl, that's a new name. Good on yous. Welcome to the madhouse. Blah, blah, blah. How are we all? I think we've got audio. I think everything's good. Latency is terrible. It's normal. No drop frames. 5 kilobits per second. 5 kilobits per second. Alright, I think we're happy. So what are we doing, legends? Drinking coffee, that's what we're doing. Ah, 4 minutes late is early for me. Bloody oath, Rob. Well, sometimes, you know, you gotta let these things, like, ferment. Why is my video lagging massively? Wasn't doing that yesterday. Let me just reset something. Hang on. Let's try that again. Deactivate, activate. Deactivate, activate. Ah, it's better. Yeah, did that with the overhead cam last night. OBS, you never know what you're going to get, eh? It's, OBS is like a box of chocolates. We'll start with something easy, because I've been doing some very difficult repairs. And, I just want something with a known factor for once. Nothing ever is in repair, to be honest, but, at least we'll have a bit of a fighting chance of knowing what we're doing with this one. And it's colourful. Who doesn't like a colourful repair? Look at this. Beautiful. This customer likes colour. Got a couple of boss pedals. We're going to convert these to the 9-volt ACA style input, DC input. Let me just grab the suitable connectors. So they're 2.1, they're 2.5, they're 2.1. Sweet. So how's everyone going? What's going on? We adjust things and tweak stuff and whatnot. Sounds like a touch of reverb on me. Have I got? Oh, hang on. I've got two audio sources enabled. Sorry about that. Like I say, you never know what you're going to get with OBS. You shut it down, you open it up, all the settings are changed. And it's not like it's just forgotten all the settings. It's just randomly changes one setting. With you not having any way of knowing which one it's going to randomly change or how it's going to change it each time you start it. I'm starting to think programmers are doing that shit on purpose, because it's pretty hard to believe that it just randomly changes like one setting every time you restart it. I think one of the programmers has taken the piss. So, yeah. Thanks, BGG, for existing. Fuck. Setting the bar pretty high there, Sean. And getting thanks for just existing. That's good. Thanks, Gooden, for letting me know how the sound is wrong. Everything else alright. Not glitchy or nothing. I'm not showing any drop frames. Blah, blah, blah. 10 persons got lucky. I do not miss OBS. What are you using these days, Lyle, for your live chats? You're my guinea pig, because you seem to enjoy playing with software that you don't know, whereas I fucking hate it. Hate it. Oh, this is funny. So Directional cables. It's one thing to show, you know, your instrument's supposed to plug into this end. But then your instrument's also supposed to plug into this end. So what do? Oh, shit. Oh. I don't know if you guys are aware of the... So audiophilia, I'm going to call it that because it sounds creepier than it actually is. Audiophilia. These fucking room temperature IQ cockheads think that cables can be directional. Like you should plug one end into the source and one end into the receiver or whatever. But it's because they're children in the head, audiophilia people. So we're cutting them off. So this is an Ernie ball cable that the customer brought in. I don't actually sell these ones, partially for this reason. He wanted right angle connectors on the ends, but he loves the color of the cable. I sell their braided ones because they have one angled end, and you can always use one angled end, whether it's into the amplifier or into like a strat, and then fold the cable over your strap. But yeah, it's always good to have a cable with one angled end, one right angle end. I mean, Ecamm, Mac only. That old chestnut. Where's my coax stripper? There it is. Within arm's reach. That's handy. So these things are worth like $1. Yeah, I saw them for like 100 yen in Japan. They're fine. They've got a little razor blade down there. Razor blades. That's how you say razor blades in Australia. You say rise up lights. So you Americans sitting at home, do me a favor, stop what you're doing and say to yourself, rise up lights. And you just said razor blades in Australia. Razor blades. Anyway, it's got an adjustable blade down there. You can tweak it up and down with a little choo-choo there. See, it's coming up. Or down, as it were, because it's upside down. So you can strip coax with it. You just fling it around your finger. See, it's got a little cut there. Not quite deep enough. Go a little bit deeper. See, it's got the plus minus, so you know which way you're going. Plus for taking more off. And there you go. You want to get it. Oh, that's not great. Spiral. Come on, Ernie ball. Fucking $70 cable. Where's the braid? Where's the braid? Maybe I won't sell them anymore. But it's got that conductive plastic, the black shit there. Oh, hi, Mum. Oh yeah, I said hi before. Oh, hi, Dad too. I keep forgetting you both got YouTube accounts now. So this black stuff is conductive. Not extremely conductive, I don't think, but enough to be a problem. Let's do my camera kung fu. Panny Boy's playing nice this morning. What's going on? Yeah, it's pretty conductive. So 250 ohms. The closer you get, the what's more, that's actually, it seems to be more responsive to pressure. As I push harder, it drops. 100 ohm. So you can kamagatsa, as Dave Jones says, by letting that touch the actual terminal if you're not careful. And it doesn't kill your signal, it just fucking severely neuters it. I use Megami. It has a spiritual shield. Megami and Canary. I thought it was Canary for years, but apparently it's Canary. Are my favourite. I've got rolls and rolls and rolls of the gear. Fucking love it. Some of the cables I made in fucking high school are still kicking around. The shit is just indestructible, and it's not super thick. So here's the stuff I use. Where's a... There we go. Of course it's upside down. Spiral. A spiritual shield would be good though, Lyle. If they made a cable, so that you're back into the audiophilia territory there. This cable has a spiritual shield. It will block out, you know, bad vibes and realign your chakra with your hi-fi. So you can see this one's my workshop cable. It's been around forever. This is from the garage days, back when life was a lot simpler and bills were a lot lower. GS6 from Canare. I don't know what 1405 means. Maybe that's a build, the manufacture date. Was this made in 2005 or maybe 2014? I never know with date codes. They should make it less Lyle's yelling the word at my brain. Ambiguous. Man, my words are really struggling. Made in Japan. But does it have flannel up and down? A little trapdoor. I think Gooden's quoting Frank Zappa there. He does that from time to time. It's okay. It passes. Use Canare for pedalboard connectors. They make I think it's a 3 or 4 millimeter one as well, which is perfect for that kind of application and running shit behind patch panels, that kind of thing. I'm pretty sure Megami do the same thing. They got a thinner version, just a thinner jacket. But that stuff is braided. It's actually, I understand why manufacturers use a spiral, because it's way easier to make cables out of. Undoing the braid, I've got like a little broken tweezer there, half, which I use to separate the braid and work its way down. But yeah, it is time consuming. So what are we all doing? Come on, roll call time. What's the temperature? What time is it at your place? What are you having for dinner? Ooh, that's annoying. A little bit flexible, the core. Use a dental pick. Yeah, anything pointy works. Frank Zappa may have passed, but the delicious brain damage you inflicted on me is forever. Oh, I could never get into Frank Zappa. It was just too weird. I'm sorry to say, but I could never get into it. I understand it's cool and artistic and whatever, but don't know, bro. It was fucking weird. You can't deny that. It was something the nerds love to talk to each other about how much they liked. Well, the Anthrax fans like me are off with the supermodels and the, you know. I don't know, it was just a bit weird. I listen to weird shit now, but when shit's weird, like ethereal or like trying to think of the word, atmospheric, and like, I don't know, my words are fucked at the moment. my vernacular? No. See, I can't even think of the word that is a group of words. I think it's because I've just been sitting here at the desk and my brain's fried for the week. Vocabulary. Jesus Christ. My vocabulary is terrible at the moment. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm just not talking to anyone and I'm just strapped to the bench. So it's probably not good. Yeah, so if it's weird, and atmospheric and you know, elicits like imagery in your head, I like it. But if it's just wacky, sounds like fucking circus music, I'm not interested. It's like Mr. Bungle. Everyone's like, oh, I love Mr. Bungle. I'm like, it sounds like carnival fucking bullshit. What? And then they're like, it switches over to like death metal stuff to like shock you. Like, I prefer Mr. Bungle now because it's actually just thrash metal. I don't like the circusy fucking, oh, gotcha shit. Just write good music and stop being a clown. That's what I reckon anyway. That's what I reckon about Frank Zappa. He was a fucking clown. I'm going to get hate mail. Why did I tin that for an Amphenol connector? You don't tin it for an Amphenol connector. You just wrap it around this thing. But I'm not thinking right. So this is why I'm doing this job now instead of rebuilding an amplifier. Because I'm warming up, champions. That's what I'll tell myself anyway. So I did the thing that I always forget to do and put the back end and the sheath on there first, instead of only realizing once I've soldered the connector, which all you techs will know very intimately. That's constant struggle. See, we've had nothing but rain here for the last 2 weeks, and to be honest, it's getting a bit depressing. Fucking over it. I want to ride my push bike. I want to ride my mountain bike. Rode it to the brewery, not last weekend, was it? One before? I don't know. I'm losing track of all time. I figured if I'm going to have a beer, I'm going to earn it. So I rode the mountain bike up to the brewery. It's about 10 k's away, and it's all uphill. By the time I got there, I was like, fuck, can I just have a water? And at least riding back was easier because it's downhill. I'm at the like foot of the Blue Mountains. I'm at the very bottom. So if you ride anywhere west, it's always multiple 100 meters in elevation that you're climbing. So this shop is sort of, what are we, like 20 something meters above sea level here? But at home is like 350 above sea level. So there's like 300 meters of elevation difference between my house and the shop. So riding here is fun. Riding home, not so much. But yeah, it's good for you. Gotta keep that shit up. How can anyone appreciate? Yeah, that's the common one, isn't it? Between Mad Magazine and Frank Zappa, I was ruined. Kenny Vaughan. What happened to Kenny Wayne Shepherd? Is he still around? I remember he was like touted by all the guitar mags as, was it Kenny Wayne Shepherd that I'm thinking of? He was touted as like, you know, the next Stevie Ray Vaughan, the next big fucking superstar guitarist, and he just sort of fizzled out. I thought he was in like every magazine there for like 10, or not, probably like 3 or 4 years. Hey Brad, I acquired an SVT2 Pro for $300. It works. Is that American dollars? Works when I try to bias one side. Says faulty tubes. Pull power board and found one open 220 resistor. Replaced. Bad tube, of course. Don't know. It depends what resistor it was. Oh, great. Hiccups. Flick it over to live chat, everyone. By the way, top chat's a hoax. I've been riding my bike into work this week. Shorts or short sleeves, light at 5:45. Where are you, Richard? I assume somewhere where the weather's a bit better than Sydney, at least. got an SVT4 Pro here. I've got to double check that. Last I saw, he was still sitting on the quote. I think he may have approved it while I was on holidays and I missed it. It's big catch-up time here, champions. It's just been trying to pump the work out, but just can't seem to get ahead, eh? Every time I think, oh, here's a good repair, I'll knock this one out of the park, there's always some fucking complication that just slows me right the fuck down. Like the Laboga. Laboga? Labamba? It's like, oh, this is just got an intermittent bloody crackling, or, you know, like, oh, signal cutting out. Oh, it's a relay. Yeah, sweet. Change the relay, give it a service. Oh, one of the valves is running away. Okay, so double check and clean the valve sockets and retension them. Okay, that's sorted. Put it back together again, third time. Under extremely high volume, it's got a really horrible arcing sound. Okay, take it apart. That's one of the other relays, which wasn't showing itself with tapping. It was only resonating at A. So when you played an A note or an A chord at fully maxed out volume. Okay, replace that relay. Oh, why is it distorting when the fucking PPIMV's turned down? That shouldn't make a difference to the preamp. And I analysed the circuit and figured out, no, it was designed to do that. With a really weird circuit. And it was like, fucking, before you know it, like 6 hours are gone and I've only charged for 3. And everyone's like, fucking techs are so expensive these days, eh? It's fucked. Should have only taken him an hour. But yeah, when you have weird behaviour from an amp, you kind of need to investigate it. Because it could be something wrong. I was thinking there was something wrong with the negative feedback, and then when I started looking at the feedback circuit, I'm like, whoa, hold on there, partner. There's something weird going on here. Before you know it, I've got bloody textbooks out, and I'm figuring out if anyone's ever done it before, and researching it. And of course, I don't charge a customer for that, but that's a bizarre circuit. Still don't know why they did that. No benefit. Yeah, there's no benefit, but I can tell what they were thinking. They were thinking, all right, well, what do you want when you turn your PPIMV down? Well, you want break up at lower volumes. So they're like, okay, let's make it break up more. But they've completely defeated the purpose of a PPIMV. But anyway, I'm making a video about that. So hold your horses, legends. Just steady on. You'll get it when it comes out. The members will get it a day earlier or two. So it was interesting that poll that I put up about live performance at the shop, because I rearranged the shop. Part of the reason for opening the center of the shop up was I want to host bands in here, a little bit like NPR's Tiny Desk concerts, you know. Because I know plenty of musos, and they can rehearse here instead of their rehearsal space, like maybe one time maybe. And instead of paying for the rehearsal space, I'll pay them to play here. But then it was, yeah, you gotta ignore a lot of people on YouTube. This is coming from a YouTuber. So I put the post up, and there was 100 votes, and 10 of them said no, I shouldn't do that. Just trying to figure out the logic. Like, explain it to me if you're one of the people that voted no. What's wrong with... Why do you not want to see it? Like, if you don't want to see it, wouldn't you just click past it? Or are you worried that I'm going to waste time on it when I could be doing other videos that you want to watch? Is that logic behind voting no? See, if there's a channel and they produce, say they, I don't know, do a trip to Japan and start releasing unrelated video for a while there, I wouldn't like tell them not to and dislike it. I'd just be like, oh, they'll be back to normal soon, you know. Yeah, it's just weird that people are like, no, don't do that. I'm like, oh, okay, you don't want content? Okay. Whatever. I'm going to do it anyway because it was like 90% said yes. It's just weird. There's people out there that don't want to see live music. They're like, no, I don't want to see live music for free. What the fuck? YouTube's a weird place, man. If you want extremely high engagement rates, post something that's entirely wrong. Yeah. I fucking hate that stuff, man. To be honest, I was talking to someone about that last night. They're like, oh, are you an influencer? That's when people find out you got a YouTube channel and you actually actively do stuff on it rather than just posting the occasional video. In Australia, there's a bit of a sort of tall poppy syndrome thing. They're like, oh, he's an influencer. Oh, you know, they literally put that voice on. And, yeah, they're like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, and play the algorithm, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I just release whatever I feel like. And whoever wants to stick around and watch it, good for them. If I was smart, well, I don't know, is it smart? If it's smart, if I was smart, I'd play the algorithm and do all that, maximise income and blah, 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 Mr. Beast, fucking whatever. Doesn't seem like a enjoyable life to me. Between you and I think one day Mr. Beast, someone will go to check on him and he won't be alive. That's just Brad's prediction. You can't have a pressure cooker environment like that, lose your entire personality and live through it. I'm sorry, but it's just not possible. You lose what it means to be human. What I don't get is people commenting on amps I had and finished a year ago telling me, yeah, I get that all the time. Look at this. I'm like, dude, do you know how to read the date on a video? It was like, I get it from like 5 years ago. They're like, oh, check R220. I'm like, clearly nothing was wrong with R220 because it's been with the customer for fucking 5 years, getting gigged every weekend, and it has not had a single problem since I looked at it. I think when you're having a bad day too, I gotta remind myself that I've done so many amplifiers, so many devices for well, Dad has as well in the early days, and these days he's pumps out 10 amps in the time I do one. But we've done so many of these devices and amplifiers that have not come back, that get gigged every weekend for like 5, 6, 7, 8 years without a single problem. And I know these customers are happy because they bring other stuff to me, and I ask them about the amplifier. Hey, how's that Vox going? And it's literally an amplifier that I looked at in like 2016 and did a rebuild on or whatever. And he's like, yeah, it's been bloody great. Ever since you looked at it, it's been great. I'm like, good stuff. So when you have a bad day, you just got to think about all of those little wins that you forget about over the years. And remind yourself that life's not that bad. Right, so what do we do for these? We've got these connectors. These are the BOS ACA adapter only. Right? Now that's a bit of a misnomer because they're not AC. They're still DC adapters. That's Boss being Boss, doing bossy things. So see there, it says BOS ACA adapter only. That's the 12 volt adapter. So back in the day, 9 volt adapters were actually pretty hard to get your hands on. Penny boy, doing whatever penny boy wants. Because 12 volt cars, everything was 12 volt, right? That was sort of the standard for low voltage shit. At some point, they started putting 9 volt batteries in consumer equipment because it was more compact. And for low current uses anyway, because 9 volt batteries are pretty piss weak in terms of, you know, amp hour, whatever. So in equipment that had a 9 volt battery, they would use a 9 volt adapter, but they were hard to find. So what Boss did, or Roland, Boss, whatever, they used 12 volt adapters, but then they used a dropper resistor. So per pedal, they've calculated the current draw of the device in its idle state. Now, having a voltage divider and a low impedance output on a voltage divider is actually very energy inefficient. So if you were going to divide 12 volts down to 9 volts, you'd have to have a very lossy circuit in order to have a low impedance output on that voltage divider. So that would smash the current unnecessarily. So what they did is just put a dropper, and they used the circuit itself as the bottom half of the voltage divider. So they'd average out the current and calculate the value of the resistor off that. So these have a 9-volt battery directly connected to the circuit, but then when you plug into the connector there, they have a resistor in series with it, which drops it down to about 9 volts. Good enough for rock and roll champions. They're just pedals. They're not fucking NASA flight computers, right? So if you want to convert them to be used with a PSA adapter, which is a 9-volt adapter, and now everyone's got pedalboard power supplies that put out 9 volt, you need to bypass that resistor, so you need to remove it and replace it with a link. And then we replace these because they go corroded and gross. Now, if you are after them, you can pay an exorbitant amount from some pedal specialist fuckwit on the high street, or you can just go to DigiKey and get these for about 80 cents each. So these are the old school Boss style ones. The more modern ones are a lot more common. And make sure you get the right diameter, because if you get 2.5, she won't fit all your existing plugs. So there you go. So many times I've bought Boss pedals, non-functional on eBay, just because someone tried to use a 9 volt on a 12 volt pedal, and there's nothing wrong with the pedal at all. You got to do is do that, or use a 12 volt supply, and she's sweet. So you'll get it was for a while there, it was like clockwork. You go on eBay, Boss pedal not working. There was like 12 of them, nothing wrong with them at all. It's just the dickhead didn't know that you're supposed to use 12 volt supply with them. So bargain city. I didn't tell him. I just bought the pedals. Tell you what. Alright, let's have a quick inspection of this thing. He didn't report any issues with the pedal itself. Is that a fucking varistor? Limiter. I don't think I've ever seen one of these. This is one of the old school phenolic single hole plated boards. But it looks like R48 might be a varistor. See the little chooch down there, little purple pinky thing? Panty boy. Time for a new overhead cam. There you go. We'll get our color coordinated poker. See? Down there. That little choocher. That little chotchi. Yeah, hard to find now. There you go. Is that in focus? We good? Oh, she came too. Nice. Alright, so let's find the resistor. So it'll be near the input. So one goes down to the battery, the blue one and the red one go to the board. Blue and red, so 12 and 13. Doesn't have numbers on the bottom, which is a bit annoying. So I reckon here's D2. And then there's R2. R2D2. I reckon it's R2, which should be 220 ohm. 220 ohm. So let's confirm that with schematorks. Let's catch up on the chat. Raised exhaust pipe looking thing. That's to repel drop bears. What? $300. The 220 ohm resistor from pin 4 of each power tube. So that, if it's pin 4, that's your screen grid resistor there, Seb. You probably just had a shorted valve at some point, and the screen grid likes to short to the suppressor grid and blow that resistor, so it's probably just a bad valve. I'd be upping them to at least 1K. I'd probably go 1.5 to 2.2K, and you won't have that problem with modern production valves, because modern production valves are fucking dog shit. Valves these days suck really badly. If you get a good set, stick with them, because your next set probably will die. Filter caps show no sign of DMG. What's DMG? Is that some drug? And have been replaced 6 years ago. Drained it first. Yeah, no need to give me the disclaimer, Seb. I trust that you know what you're doing. Ben Murray pickups came in. Victor, did you buy pickups before you bought a guitar? Is that like justifying it to your wife or something? I bought the pickups, well now I've got to buy a guitar. Like shit, what am I going to put the pickups in? I like that. I like the way you're thinking. I like the cut of your jib. So my boards for my new amplifier should get here on Monday. Now it's go. I've got to get the chassis finalised. Get the thing finished. The cab's already built, so that's a plus. But after fucking around with the Messer for most of the week, I am extremely excited to work on a PCB that's not dog shit. A design that's hopefully not dog shit. What's this? LM2. LM, have I got LM? Maybe I don't have LM. Unsorted. Control F, LM. No LM. Anyway, we know that's that resistor, so we'll just change it. So let's do it. Right size tip on the pacey pace. It's a plus. I was just hoping to show you. Oh, damage, right. Got a new coffee maker. That's my exciting news. Well, that is exciting. I've slowly been getting obsessed with Japanese knives, Japanese chef stuff. 220 ohm. Put a link in there. So if it's 220 ohm, you can tell the pedal doesn't draw a hell of a lot of current. If it's a hectic pedal with a friggin' million chips in it, that'll be a much lower value resistor, like 22 ohm. Brad, don't forget your apprentice is on standby. Now you are inundated with jobs again. Ah, that's you. Just have your bloody holidays for a bit, and then we'll talk. Carbon steel knives are a big commitment. So, there's a few ways you can go. You can go carbon steel, or you can go stainless. High grade stainless. There's many different grades of stainless too. Or you can go stainless clad carbon steel, which is pretty awesome. So it's got high carbon steel in the center, and then it's forged with stainless either side of it. So the body of the knife doesn't corrode if you don't wipe it perfectly. But it's not a thing, because I clean my knife every time I use it anyway. So I don't care. Carbon steel would be fine. Problem with carbon steel is my chopping board is made from Jarrah, which is extremely hard and slightly abrasive timber. It takes up silica from the dirt when it grows, so it can put microchips in a carbon steel blade. So I need to get rid of that chopping board, fucking 3 of them. Maybe keep the big one for carving, where it doesn't really touch the board anyway. But I ended up getting stainless, high-grade stainless ones anyway, so it's not an issue. Carbon steel holds an edge very well, but it's also brittle, so it can chip, and it can microchip. So ones that you can't really see with the naked eye, but it has the effect of making the blade blunt. My bro-in-law has a Japanese knife shop he's addicted to. He's in NYC. Yeah. G'day, Colby Jack. How you going, legend? Cheesy man. Got a Mocha Master. Let's have a look at a Mocha Master. How you going, Rob, by the way? Member of the channel, I might add. Mocha Master. Oh, it's one word. Oh, that's just... $500 for a drip coffee piece of shit? What are you doing? Get a fucking espresso machine, would you? God, you Americans and your drip coffee. What is the go with that? Espresso, all the way. Reduced from $545. Oof. My board is a cherry booze block. Have an expensive German chef's knife and a 35 oxo, $35. So the German one, is that a Mundial? Mundial? Oh, you didn't pay $500. Yeah, but you're probably in the States, aren't you, Rob? So it'll be $250. I'm talking. It seems to be a lot of Americans aren't aware of exchange rates. I don't want espresso. I want good coffee. Well, you're not going to get it. Sorry, you got to get espresso. That is good coffee. You've just had bad espresso. You got to set the machine right. When you have espresso out, the machines are always set wrong. Very rare that I find an espresso out that I enjoy thoroughly. When I do, I make a mental note of it. But when you adjust the settings on the machine, get your pressure and your temperatures right, set and forget. Once it's set, oh, Wursthof. Yeah, that's another great German knife. Once you set the temperatures and the pressures, you're golden. And it's got the gauges on the front, so if anything goes wrong, you can see the pressure's not right. So anyway, back to chopping boards. I make drip coffee with espresso beans. I grind myself. Oh, you got to grind the coffee. You can't buy pre-ground coffee. That's just not. You're not even in the ballpark if you're doing that. In Vienna and Florence, the espresso capitals of the world. Yeah, everywhere in Europe I went, espresso was fucking dog shit. That's what a lot of people don't understand. I was in Paris. It was the worst in Germany, but you know, there's German coffee for you. But yeah, even people that have come from fucking Europe that have had espresso all over the world come to Australia and go, you guys have got it dialed in. I'm not leaving. I'm going to live here. I'm going to live in a coffee shop. I'm going to live out the back of a coffee shop in an alley. I'm going to wash their dishes in exchange for coffee, and that's going to be my life. That's what they all say. They tell me. Australian coffee is the best coffee in the world. You got to come here, Lyle. And it's me enjoying it. Every time I sip it, there's a reason for that. I'm not just doing it for comedic effect. Paris is not a coffee or espresso town. As a German, I approve a message in regard to German coffee. Bought a Mr. Coffee. That sounds very Back to the Future, doesn't it? Bought a Mr. Coffee. You got to try espresso over here. Until then, it's a moot point. That's a tribute to Apita. That's alright. Look, this time next year, Lyle, you can show me how good your coffee is. I'll judge it on cam, alright? Champions watching, I'll give Lyle's coffee a score out of 10. It's really out of 9, unless I give it 0 stars. Then it's out of 10. So yeah, we'll have a live coffee off. Sounds like a coffee shop in Japan. Got the hard off, the hobby off, and the coffee off. So where was I? I'm sitting in front of this pedal. I'm chatting, champions. You know, this is my playtime live streaming. Do you want a blast from the past? Let's make it look like it used to look. I'll make myself like a Oompa Loompa again. Here we go. I fucked up my white balance. There we go. I'm a pale boy. Just sit in the workshop all day. So, back to knives. I found one in Japan. So, I bought one new from Kyoto as a souvenir, I guess. $250. Steep, but it's also a memento from the trip. So I thought, you know, live a little, right? But then I thought, okay, well, I've got an awesome knife I'm really going to take care of at home. And then I started looking at the piece of shit that I've got here. Now, I initially thought, you know, I'm never going to use it. I'll prep food at home and then just bring stuff down here. But the more and more that I practically live here, never leave the shop, pretty much live here, I'm thinking maybe I'll prep salads and stuff down here, because I've got a pretty big kitchen. It's like 2 meters long, got a sink, got full kitchenette here. I don't know if you know, champions, go back and watch the tour video from years ago when I first moved in. Fuck, that's like 4 years ago. I've been here like 4 years. I'm starting to think maybe I'll start prepping more food here. Make salads, you know, fruit salads, that kind of thing. Could even, I'll make sandwiches and stuff here, but so I'm starting to think, well, maybe I'll get a nice knife, and that'll like, because when you're really busy all the time, I'll finish a sentence one of these days. When you're really busy all the time, you need a reason to stop what you're doing, stop life for a bit, and actually live. Like do your washing, prep food, that kind of thing, the stuff that makes you feel human. You actually feel really good when you do it. So I need an excuse, something that breaks me out of the tech cycle and puts me into actually living life, and that is a knife. That makes me want to stop and cook stuff, having a cool knife, because I like the experience of using the knife. It's like buying a new guitar. It makes you stop what you're doing, sit down and play it, because you want to play your new guitar, right? It's bloody awesome. So with a knife, it makes me want to stop and prep and cook food, which is a healthy thing both for the mind and the body. So anyway, I got this piece of shit. Cuisine. It was like $8, right? And it fucking sucks because it's too fat, the blade's too thick, and the bevel is too steep. So you can see the bevel there. It's about 1 millimeter. So this would require a lot of grinding to make it a usable edge. So you kind of need like a linisher to have like a 5 or 6 mil at least bevel on there. So then you can have your micro bevel on the very tip. Like doing chisels, right? So you got your main grind, and then you've got your micro bevel, which is the actual sharp part. Am I going to get demonetized for showing a knife, particularly because there's been a fuck ton of stabbings in Sydney recently? Well, I'm not laughing about that. I'm laughing about being demonetized. So anyway, that knife sucks, and the steel sucks too. So I think the reason that they put such a steep bevel on there is because the steel's so soft that if they had a sharper one, it would just fucking fold over if you tried to cut anything. Brad's Guitar Garage and Cellar Bar. Yeah, damn straight. Australians and their knives. So, I'll show you the one I found from actual Japan. A used knife, but a very nice knife. Now, I don't know what it is, but I love the textured ones. Desk share. Here we go. So that's the one. I love the texture on them. The hammering, the forging. It looks so cool. And I like the irregular ones. There's some that have a regular pattern. And these, you can see there is a regularity to it, like that repeats. But it's probably the same forge surface coming down multiple times, and they're just moving the knife in and out. So, and being that it's used, it's got a bit of soul about it. There's a bit of patina to the handle. It's got some knocks, a little bit of you know, wear usage, but then the edge looks so that's what you want. See the big grind there? That's your primary bevel. See how wide it is? That's like half an inch or more. And then your micro bevel down there is the actual sharp bit. That's the bit you can sharpen on your whetstone. You don't have to take a million fucking swipes at it. So that's my new shop knife. It's on the way from Japan. I kind of like the idea of a used knife, but the catch is, why are they selling it? Don't know. Some of them you can tell they're selling it because it's completely rooted. The handle's falling apart and whatever. But old blokes in their garage, they make new handles out of ebony or whatever, and snake wood, you know. Gets them out of the house into the garage, away from their wife for a bit. But this one looks pretty schmicko, so I'm pretty sure it's all stainless, which kind of suits me for the shop because I'm not using it heaps. But that brings me to chopping boards. I'm getting a bit autistic about these, I must admit. So they use a timber. It's like Japanese cedar or something is a generic name for it. Hinoki is their name for it. So they use that for chopping boards. It's a lot softer. It's a firm timber, but it's a softwood, and it's a lot easier on the blades. So I'll get myself some slabs of that from an actual timber supplier and make some chopping boards out of it. I might have to ask them about what fumigation process was used for it, being that it's going to be around foodstuffs. Or I can just buy a pre-made Hinoki chopping board, but they tend to be rather expensive. I think I've got one on my watch list, do I? No. Bunch of test gear, Nagra reel-to-reel recorder. I am not buying that. $3,000. Anyway, Hinoki is the timber to use for the chopping board, so I'm going to find myself a slab of that instead of the Jarrah, and I'll give my Jarrah boards to someone. Because the Jarrah boards I made, God, my two main boards I made 15 years ago, and every 5 years I run them through the planer and re-bevel them, and they take a millimeter off. They started at 33 mil thick, now they're at like 32. I received a J.A. Henkel chef's knife for Christmas 15 years ago. Still works perfectly. I tossed all the El Cheapos in the trash. It's like that, isn't it, Eric? Eric, you sound like a discerning gentleman. I think you should be a member. Feel free to join up. The thing with a good knife is it ruins you for all the other knives. It's a bit like guitars, I guess. Once you play a really nice guitar, it's hard to go back to it's hard to go back to a Gibson. Joking. Bamboo chopping board. Oh, bamboo might be a bit hard there, Eric. Maybe. If you're chopping right into it. A lot of real hard non-absorbent boards are good for things like duck or anything where you've got bones. Like I've got a big cleaver that I use for chopping duck. So it goes through the bones and everything, just like whack. You cut a friggin'... That cleaver, you could cut your arm off. It's like... It's razor sharp, but it's also a more malleable metal, so it doesn't chip if you hit it real hard. So yeah, you do have to keep it sharpened, but it's more about the brute force and the weight behind the thing, because the blade's about 8mm thick. Lucas, good morning from New Zealand. Currently chugging drip coffee as I was up till 4 a.m. working. Oh, Jesus. 4 a.m.? It's only 8. Would you only get like 3 or 4 hours sleep there, Lucas? Go back to bed, buddy. You have Brad's permission to go back to bed. This stream will be up later for you to watch. It's okay. You'll catch the next one. See if the OXO Good Grips chef knife is available in Australia. Really good. Perfect for the shop. Keep good knives at home. Yeah. I don't know. I like the idea of having one good knife here. Eric, he's joined up. He's had a small cappuccino. You know what's in a cappuccino? Espresso. Welcome, Eric. I hope go back and check the all the new members today. Go back and check the previous material. There's a lot of Japan related stuff, as well as some tips and tricks, some less refined content, some more sweary material, because people tend to get upset about that on the main channel. So a few years ago, I spent my entire tax refund on a 6-inch German meat knife. Life changing. It's amazing, isn't it? Having the right tools for the job. It's like when you buy your first set of really nice chisels. You're like, oh, the problem wasn't me all the time. It was actually the tool. So anyone that goes, a good tradesman never blames his tools, that's horse shit. A good tradesman always blames their tools. That's why they buy good ones. Alright? So that's one of those stupid phrases that's just not true. A good tradesman doesn't have shit tools. I guess that's why they don't blame him. I don't know. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Anyway, I should probably stop talking shit and actually do some work, eh? So we put the link in. Let's change the socket. World Surf League is having a live comp in Sydney right now, really? So the OXO is surprisingly great for the price. Highly recommended. Let's have a look. Let's just have a look on eBay to start with. So, Kniffy. Citrus zester? Don't think so. Knives. Here we go. Alright, I'll flick his over to the desk view. I don't think I'm incriminating myself with anything here. OXO bent icing knife. No. $57. Serrated. There's not a lot there. Let me have a look. Oh, just on. They seem to be, oh, is it sort of like this one with the little fillets? Amazon. Here we go. So that's just stainless, I'm assuming there, Lyle. Oh my god, the internet's so slow. Stay in touch on X. How about no? Oh, fuck it. Yeah. Yes, whatever. Go away. Looks like you're in Australia. Sounds like you're in Australia. Okay, so they kind of make everything. My attention span's over. Righto. 8-inch chef knife. Okay. I think you should do memberships, Lyle. And I think you should talk about unrelated things on memberships, because people that will join up as members will watch whatever you put out. They will love it. Because that would be perfect material for a member's video. Here's my kitchen utensils. Here's why I bought them. I love them. So there's a couple of different styles of knife. Well, a couple, there's fuck tons of different knives in Japan. So I got the Sentoku, which is like a general purpose. There's also the Kyoto, which is general purpose but longer. There's a couple of general purpose ones that you can use for everything. Then there's like specific ones like filleting or a sushi knife, that the real long ones that they fillet the salmon like in one motion. Andy, thanks mate. Thanks for taking the time and effort to do these streams. My pleasure, buddy. Thanks for joining us and listening to me yammer on about knives. Good, and I have to drop out for family stuff. I want to remind everyone here lucky enough to have a good mum. Passed away too early. Oh, not recently. Do something nice for her. Mum's watching right now. Hi, Mum. I got him a voucher to a sort of hotel-y, resort-y place not far from where they live, as a thank you for helping me out so much in the workshop and just in general, being fucking legends. So they went and enjoyed that. I think Mum said it was like $1 per scallop. I'm like, ugh, that's expensive. The size of $1 coin. $1? No, $5 per scallop. So yeah, that's not great, but YOLO, am I right? Alright, we'll fire this thing up, give it a test. Being a limiter, it's probably not going to be too exciting to listen to, but I'll just confirm it works. Going to try Patreon if I remember to set it up. Yep. I guess that's good if your channel ever gets just fucking randomly cancelled by the algorithm or whatever. You've got the Patreon there as a backup. You can do both. If you've got a mother-in-law like mine, you've got my sympathy and my wife's sympathy as well. 94 years old and still driving everyone around a crazy. $9 per small scallop. I thought you said it was like $5 per scallop. You had 3. Jesus, that's fucking ridiculous. That's piss take pricing. What great Aussie cartoon YOLO is. Oh, I'm unaware of that, Richard. Aussie cartoon named YOLO. Richard Morgan, I'm transplanting a JTM 45-ish preamp phase inverter into an old New Zealand-made Jansen 75. Right. Lucas, are you on the ozvalveamps.org page, group, forum thing? Because they cover New Zealand. Because, you know, Australia and New Zealand, we've got solid ties. We're basically the same country, right? We're brothers and sisters in arms and in many other things. And we steal all their celebrities. So that's fun. But these Oz valve amps, and they probably have a page for them because they cover New Zealand manufacturers as well. Jansen. Let's have a look. Yeah, Jansen. There we go. I prefer Patreon to YouTube memberships. I understand they take less from the content created compared to Google. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. I should probably do that too. But I'm waiting until I've got more time to offer, you know, like maybe kits and stuff, or like PCBs to fellow techs, that kind of thing. I'm making lunch for Mum Sunday. Going to do peri-peri chicken on charcoal. Oh. So good. How good is charcoal? It just makes everything so much better. Does buying dickhead drinks make them less dickheaded, or more so? Or do you yourself have a double for every drink you buy someone else to numb yourself to the dickish behaviour? What are you on about, Gooden? There's one grocery here that stocks Nando's. So if we got Shell and I, during lockdown, we were going to get some chickens because everyone was doing the homesteading bullshit where you convince yourself that you can be self-sufficient, but when you look at the economics of it, it's not possible. Anyway, I just like the idea of some chickens running around, sort of add another dimension to the backyard, right? So we were going to get two. You got to get 2 chickens. You can't have one, or the one chicken gets depressed. So you got to have at least 2. We were going to name one Squendy and one Fernando, because if he fucks up, gets out of line, he's Fernando's. Oh, you've already visited? Sweet. Trying to make every amp in the New Zealand made list. So let's have a look at Jansen. Jansen, there is all information. Oh, sorry about that. I know, hang on. Yeah, Baseman 50, 7500. They had quite a few amps then. Base 100. They look like chunky, nuggety little things. Big things. Probably, yeah, power transformer the size of your head. Good to see. 2 valves pretty much touching each other. It's always a plus. Yeah, a lot of these amps, they were kind of made before construction techniques were sort of solidified with evidence. Are you a microphile or a microphobe while you're cooking? So is that, do you or don't you use mushrooms? Yeah? Oh, mate of mine, he was afraid of mushrooms. It was weird because he was a country boy. And he's like, no, I'm not fucking eating mushrooms. They grow in cow shit. I'm like, dude, I've got news for you. Everything grows in cow shit. It's called fucking fertilizer, right? He's like, I'm not eating mushrooms, alright? I don't fucking eat mushrooms. So Shell cooked for us one time. This is pretty early on in the relationship. And she made veal schnitzel. And she made a crumb for the veal schnitzel. And she used... it was like breadcrumbs, like powdered parmesan, and like shiitake mushroom, dried and ground, all blended up. Best tasting crust I've ever had on anything. And my mate's like, oh, that was unreal. That was so good. How'd you get the crust so good? And she goes, mushrooms. He's like, what? You fed me mushrooms? I couldn't have been allergic. And go, well, you're not, so shut up. Grow up and eat food. Got no time for this child tongue bullshit where people only eat chicken tendies and chips. YOLO is on Adult Swim from the same people as Smiling Friends and Koala Man. There's so many Adult Swim things these days. I can't even keep track. All right, we got power. Got a short circuit? Nope. We got power. Let's just crank this thing up. Got to put some proper strap locks on this thing instead of these squeaky old school ones. Certainly limiting. Pots are a bit scratchy. I should have given them a clean while I had it apart. Yeah, it's like a brick wall, but no real distortion. Just like instant compression. Pretty subtle, to be honest. I'd probably be good for bass, but for guitar it's a bit meh. You're sort of just chopping off the attack there that you kind of want. I think it would make it a pretty homogenized experience playing through an amp. Take a bit of magic out of it. But it would be good for things where you're doing a bit of slap bass, that kind of thing. Nothing better than mushrooms on cheese pizza. So we don't really know what cheese pizza is here in Australia. We have margarita, but no one has just what is just a cheese pizza? Is it literally just cheese with tomato paste under it? Is that it? I use porcini and creminis and shiitake and many others, but I hate white button mushrooms, which are the ones used most often. Yeah, they're just flavourless, the white button ones. The more mature a mushroom is, the more flavour it has. I'll just give these pots a lube, if I can get to them. Ugh. That's difficult. Get my little bent shooter in there, maybe. Don't want to get spray everywhere. It's a very narrow window of opportunity. I want to fill the thing with residue like some other techs do. Brad, did the owner of that Panther amp restoration like it when you were finished with it? That amp was fucking cool, but you had to put a shit ton of work into it. Yeah, what's new, Steve? Yeah, he was over the moon with it, and it was a fucking fantastic sounding amp. That thing, I agree, it sounded awesome. Balls to the wall, rock and roll, punk, all of that early stuff. It sounded so good. Yeah, sometimes I should probably go back and watch them and just remind myself that I actually know what I'm doing. Because sometimes an amp can really humble you and you feel like you don't know what you're doing. Basically same as yours, sauce and cheese and whatever else toppings you want. So pizzas here, so there's like sort of gourmet pizza places, and then there's fucking Domino's, right? Domino's, they just like mince everything and fucking throw it on top, and it's just everything's a cube that's 3mm. So that's not pizza. Let's just take that out of the equation. But when you go for gourmet pizza, it'll be, to me, really good pizza. The ones I like, a big, pillowed, bubbly crust around the outside. Just Italian style pizza with not many toppings. That's my favourite. Just 1 or 2 toppings on each one. Pretty sparing. Relatively small pizza size. Nice fluffy, bubbly crust around the edge. Handmade dough, always. Never have pizza anywhere with one of those automatic little fucking things that takes the pizza through on the conveyor belt. That's dog shit. Handmade, preferably wood fire, but gas is fine as well as electric, if they know what they're doing. Wood fire can sometimes be used as like a bit of a crutch for pizza places that don't know what they're doing. They're like, yeah, but it's wood fired. I'm like, yeah, but you don't know what you're doing. It could be gas or electric fired and be way better than this. So I make pizza dough. I've got a pizza oven at home. To get a really good pizza oven, it was very expensive. So what Dad figured out is that you go get like a $400 one from Bunnings, which is like our Home Depot, and you drill out the rivets that hold the inner and the outer skin together, because it's basically the outer enameled shell and then a zinc anneal internal thin steel structure. So you drill the rivets out that hold the internal in the external. You pull out the guts. You pack it with fiberglass, right? We used rock wool because it's denser. Pack the living shit out of it. Like half a bag of like insulation will go into this thing. And then you put it back in and you re-rivet it. Now, instead of hitting like 250 degrees max, that oven will just keep heating, almost like a furnace, until it gets to like 500-600 degrees Celsius, which is fucking hot. Like you put your hand in there, the skin comes off. And then it's a really good pizza oven. And it cooks a pizza in about 2 minutes. That's what you want. You like Neapolitan, which is great. Domino's is extremely fake New York style. Well, Domino's, it's a bit like Subway. Domino's here is probably way different to Domino's over there too. So, I mean, Subway here is relatively healthy. They're just like salad rolls and sandwiches. But then you look at the sugar content of the bread here, and it's like 1/10 of the sugar content in the bread that you guys put in. I got no idea why you guys put so much sugar in bread. So here it's just like salad, right? If you get Subway with no sauce and just like salad, it's just a salad roll. I usually get the wraps because there's less bread in it. But you get Subway in America and there's like 100 grams of sugar in the fucking sub roll. It's like, what? It's like a fucking hot dog roll, I guess. They just put gob loads of sugar in it. Right, where are we working on this one? There's a lot of those pizza ovens, like, what is it, Gosney or something, and make them, and they're like fucking $5,000. Just go buy yourself a $400 one from, and that's like $200 American, from Home Depot or whatever, and modify it. Make it a weapon. Alright, the blue one goes in there. Red one goes in there. Okay, so this color code's opposite to what the other one was. That's handy. It's got a resistor and a diode. And the other one went diode resistor. This one's going resistor diode. Is it? Oh no, diode resistor. Yeah, diode. Then the resistor next to it, which is 45 ohm. Interesting. I might just see if I can show you this schematic just so something. Those look familiar. Yeah, they do. The owner of the pedals is here. How you going, Brandon? Happy Saturday to you, sir. See you, Rob. Take it squeezy, mate. I don't go to Subway. Probably a good move. Flake sea salt and freshly ground pepper. Grill for a couple of minutes. Delicious. Yeah. Like, if you get the dough right and you get the oven right, you can literally just olive oil and some salt and it's still fucking delicious. Oh, my chair's dropping. That's annoying. Oh god, I hate this chair. Sliced a finger on shielding in JCM 900 head. Bugger. I got a JCM 2000 head I got to do today as well. Boss. Shut up, computer. High band flanger. HF2. Hydrofluorocarbon. What? HF2. Come on, computer. You can do it. Oh, this fucking chair. 56, yeah. 56 ohm. What did I say? 46, 56. Alright, let's have a look. So, this is the schematic. So, see there? When you're plugged in, there's your input. Having the sleeve grounds the battery or grounds the power supply. So, it doesn't use battery when there's no input plugged in. But here's the dropper resistor there, and then that goes to what would otherwise be the negative of the battery, protection diode, 56 ohm resistor, so R64. By bypassing that enables you to use a 9 volt supply. It does still have a half volt drop across that diode, but whatever. So that's the resistor we'll replace with a link. G'day RJ, how you going, legend? Get a dog up here and whatnot. Supermarket button shrooms are indeed boring. I find the decent wild edibles from time to time. Bollets, oyster, honey mushrooms, chicken of the woods. Yeah, with no morals. There's a court case happening here at the moment. Some woman poisoned her lunch guests with mushrooms, poisoned mushrooms, and fucking killed 2 or 3 of them. And she's like, it was a mistake, it was an accident. And then it comes out that, like, she tried to kill her husband like 3 times, and for some reason this bloke keeps coming back for fucking meals. Like, what? So they had some, you know, acrimonious decoupling, and this bloke just keeps coming back to have lunch with her, and she keeps trying to kill him. And this time she, I shouldn't laugh because people died, but she made the dinner to try and, or the lunch or whatever, to try and kill him, but then he like cancelled it at the last minute, and everyone else ate it, and they're the ones that died. Fucking put her away, put her away. She looked just like my next door neighbour. Fucking freaked me right out. She looks just like my crazy neighbour next door. Oh, you heard about that, Richard? Where are you, Richard, again? Did that make international news? Normally nothing in Australia makes international news. Unless the whole country's on fire, which will be happening in a year or two. Once this year's La Nina is finished. It's going to be a scary time once the rain stops. A sushi place here in Montana killed 2 people because they used raw morel mushrooms. Shit. Yeah? Whoops. Kind of hard to get return business when you kill them. Please leave us a Google review. Would if I could, but I'm dead. So I started going to my local sushi place here. This one at Emu Plains. It was sort of just a takeaway joint, right? So you go there and get your sushi rolls or whatever, and you fuck off. But since we came back from Japan, I noticed a sign out front, and he's got all this new stuff on the menu, and like you can sit down there. There's only like 2 tables, but you can sit down there and have like ramen or whatever. So what we've been doing, like once a week, Shell will meet me at work, and we'll ring ahead, and by the time we get there, our ramen's ready, and they had the table like all laid out for us and everything, in like this sort of almost like a takeaway joint. So we sat down and had relaxing ramen for lunch, and it was really nice, and they let me practice Japanese on them. Itadakimasu. Yeah, he's really upped his game, so I'll be going there at least once a week now. Yeah, sushi's great in summer, but ramen is unbeatable in winter. Or just shitty weather. It's warming, and it's like a big warm hug. Yorkshire. Made it onto the BBC, wow. Yeah, it's fucking weird setup, that whole story. I can't figure out why the people went there. She looked pretty loaded. Like, the house was pretty big. To have a big house in Australia, you've got to be kind of a millionaire these days. Like a shitty little shack will be $1.2 million. So to like buy any house, you kind of need to be a millionaire. So I'm not sure. Maybe it was financial. Who knows? Brad, did you notice... Oh, shit. I'm talking. I didn't lubricate the pots, did I? Did you notice how vegetables tasted different in Japan to what they taste like here? Yeah, no. Just having salads and stuff, they taste just like whatever vegetable. But they have a lot of pickles over there. So you'll have carrot, but it won't just be carrot. They've pickled it. Even a very light pickle. A light pickle. So yeah, they're big on pickling stuff. Maybe it's to make it last, I don't know. But yeah, when I had just salads, it just... I mean, it tasted good. It was fresh. Everything was really fresh, but I didn't notice it tasting fundamentally different. Did you notice that, Brandon? If that is your real name? Recently, the Mushroom Wonderland channel was finding wild truffles in Washington State, slicing them onto flatbread pizza. What? If we had wild truffles here, I'd train my dog to find them. They are worth so much money, man. Morels, fugu. Yeah, fugu is just a... That's just a gimmick. And cilantro. Hang on. Are you one of the people that thinks, what do we call it? Oh God, the words today. Cilantro. I fucking gotta Google it. Jesus. Coriander. We call it coriander over here. Do you guys call it coriander? It's all cilantro, is it? Or is it like a state thing? We notice spring onions the most. More watery and less acidic. Yeah, the spring onions, I mean, I had some that were like very mild and then some that were extremely strong. So when we went Piss Alley, I forget the name of it. What's Piss Alley called? We went during the day because we just stumbled across it, which a lot of people do at night. But yeah, but Piss Alley is an alley. I don't know how to pronounce it, but Omoy. I'll show you. Hang on. Oh my God, Google, you're a pain in the ass. Let's find just photos, I guess. So it's this real narrow alley. It's literally one alley. And there's all these yakitori places in it, little restaurants. And it's super squeezy. Come on, internet. You can do it. During inflation, think silver. Fuck off. One of those dickheads that hoards precious metals, thinking that it's going to be like... don't get me started. Anyway, it's this little alley. It's super tight. It's really awesome. But we went to a yakitori place in there, and they're like this, like super tight. You can't walk past. Was that actually the dude? I think that was the dude. No, it's a different place. They all look pretty similar. But we had some yakitori like in the morning. It was the only one that was open, and one of them we got the green onion. They call it. We call it spring onion. And it was extremely oniony. And I sort of made a mental note of it because I'd had it at other places in Japan and it was pretty mild. Anyway, that's my story over. Cool story, bro. God, I'm rambling today. How about I just be quiet for the rest of the stream and do some work? Alright. I'm not fitting there. You're a bit rotund there, Ted. Love me some cilantro on asada. Street tacos. Bunch of authentic family-owned Hispanic South American food places near me. That's awesome. Ah, man. Food. There's Penrith night markets tonight, and I was thinking about going to it, but now Michelle's going to netball, so I'm home alone. I might go there anyway. Fuck it. Always check the meter. Make sure I got my polarity right. The power supply's got a current meter on it, so when you plug something in, you can see if you've fucked up and you shorted anything out. So that's always good to watch. Of course, we won't do anything till I plug in the guitar. Some people say truffles smell like funky feet. No, not good truffles. It's a strange smell. It's sort of musky, but not in a bad way. Not in an Elon Musky way. Oh, that takes me right back. I used to have a BF2. It was one of the first pedals I bought as a teenager. That's a tribute to Rick Erickson. I forget. Black hole, son. It's a black hole, son. Is anyone here eating fiddleheads? Coiled up heads of ostrich ferns? What? So ostrich ferns. Is that called something else over there? You can eat them? Huh. I'll have to check that out. Fiddleheads, okay, not worth the price. But if it's something you can just harvest from your neighbour's garden, there is no price. Poison like asparagus. Is asparagus poisonous? What? No, it's not. Black Hole Sun had such a creepy music video. I can't remember the music video on that one. I just remember Jesus Christ Pose. That was one I watched millions and millions of times, wishing I was Chris Cornell. I don't now. Oof, too soon. Man, that really knocked me for six, as we say here in Australia, when he necked himself. I was distraught. I was like fucking... It was like one of my mates died, even though I'd never met the bloke. It was really weird. I think because I listened to Soundgarden just religiously through high school, and I think because of his depressive lyrics, I felt the same at the time, and it was good to know someone else felt it wasn't just me. It's a bit of a stereotypical thing to say, but you guys heard Steve out? Yes. Yeah, I posted about that, Lou, on my Facebook page. Very sad that Steve's gone so young as well, and he was a proper true blue champion too. He started doing videos, I think, during lockdown, a bit like me. And I loved his videos and his sense of humour. He always mixed jokes in with it. And I sort of took a bit of inspiration off the way he did videos as well. Very sad, because he was one of the people that battled against the status quo 80s hair metal fucking horse shit that was capitalising, well, you know, just... The industry was a horrible fucking thing to be in at that point. And he was one of the people that deconstructed it and ripped it apart and tore all the money out of its pockets and made it irrelevant and cringy and fucking pathetic, as anyone with a brain felt as well. So he was so intelligent, and he single-handedly just reshaped music. Like, how many people can you say that about? Particularly just producers, not artists themselves. Well, he was an artist as well, but he was most highly regarded in his music production, and just the way he made the bands feel to get their performances out of him. So yeah, and Anthony Bourdain, yeah. It does make no sense, does it? But life doesn't make sense. Life fucking never makes sense. That's the problem with life. You try and find meaning in it, but there is none. Is that someone outside? Hang on, champions. I've got to open it. Oh no, I open at 10 on Saturdays. That's right. Oh, must be next door. I heard someone pull up. So what are we doing? We've got a super phaser. I remember the limited edition 12-inch of Jesus Christ pose back in the early 90s. What happened, Richard? You don't have it anymore? If one likes asparagus, one might like fiddleheads. I like asparagus. I like grilling it though. I like charring it. It makes your pee smell weird. It's kind of fun to make your pee smell different with a vegetable. I've got to get into the Anthony Bourdain stuff. I'm afraid that I'll, like it too much, and then it'll piss me off that he's dead. Fiddleheads. Yeah, let me look this up. I've never heard of them. Fiddlehead. Yeah. Okay. So that's like... So we call them... fuck, what do we call those? We've got them all over the place. Mum's got them growing, but if I harvested one of Mum's fiddleheads, I wouldn't have a mouth left to eat with because she'd knock it out of my face. So yeah, it's just the fronds as they're growing. So yeah, we've got tree ferns that grow like that, but it looks a bit different. It's probably a different species. Yeah, they're kind of hairy too, yeah. Huh. I didn't know that was a thing. Well, now I do. See, this is why I stream. I stream to learn as well, champions. You're teaching me. Because there's certainly nothing to learn on this stream. Alright, blue wire. Red wire. Alright. $150 ohms. Where's my wire? Ah. Okay, Tim. No, I don't repair spring reverb tanks. I replace them. They're worth like $70 to just change them out, mate. It cost me 2 hours to tentatively repair one, and then it will probably fail again in short order because it's a metal fatigue issue, which is not easily solvable. So you just change them out, mate. Otis Gibbs did a nice remembrance of Steve Albini on his channel. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Just sucks after a while. Like, what am I trying to say? Sort of need to give it a while before I watch all that shit because it kind of just makes me angry to start with at life in general. A bloody heart attack. It could be any of us, you know. Just saying to Michelle the other day that I'm probably just turned 40. I'm probably due to go get like a proper physical and blood tests and shit. See what I'm doing wrong, which is no doubt quite a bit. Check my lead levels in my blood and that kind of thing. Probably significant. too much solder on there. I'm standing up 10 miles away from the workpiece. Just bear with me, legends. I'm going to take this jumper off. I've got to disconnect the mic and whatever. We're back. Oxtail stew over rice is delicious. Sadly, the local Jamaican restaurant closed during the pandemic. It sucks. Lost a lot of good places during that period. We lost some shit ones too, though, so you gotta look on the bright side of life. So I hear, what's your name? Rowan Atkinson's going to bring back Blackadder. I don't know if it's just a reunion thing or if it's going to be a new series. Why not, eh? That should be good. Got a Jamaican patty on my London must eat list. What's a Jamaican patty? So I'm ashamed to say it, but the whole reason I got into meat smoking was because I had a wannabe American barbecue restaurant in London, of all places. I'd never had American barbecue before that, and I discovered it in London, of all places. That's when I said, oh, that's how you get that taste. I've got to get one of them when I get home, and then I got a smoker. That was about 9 years ago. He left off with World War One, right? I'd love to see him do Brexit. Yeah, that'd be good. Fucking Brexit. Yeah, you're regretting that now, aren't you? Didn't think that one through, did you? Fucking xenophobic fucks. Yeah. Funny. Meat pie. Oh, is it? Jamaican patties and meat pie. This is the bit where I spray it and it gets in my eyes. Lived in Fort Lauderdale for 3 years. Okay. You're right about property prices. There's half neglected bungalow down the road from you, and they're asking 1.2 million. Oh, are you Googling local real estate there, Nigel? It's fucking ridiculous. You literally need $1 million to buy a shed. It's a fucking joke, and it's got to finish. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. I want the real estate to crash. I want everyone who is hedging their bets on real estate going up to fall on their face, and I will laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. But it's not going to happen because there's more people here than there are houses, and until that changes, yeah, a kick in the crutch is better than jelly deal. Yeah, eel. I only will like the Japanese marinated, grilled, charred eel. G'day, Alex. How you going, legend? Good to see you, mate. Hope you're having a chilled out Saturday. You're not working today, are you? I'm not working on work anyway. Working on amps isn't working for you. It's fun. It's like a Cornish pasty with spices. Ah. We have lots of Cornish pasties, we call them here. P-A-S-T-I-E, we spell them. I've got pie and mash in the list, but no jelly deal. You've got to do it. You've got to try it. Just getting the curries. Oh, 31 Go Street. Go? 31 Goff Street. For sale. So this is an idea of our real estate champions that Nigel's just found for us. He just shared it. So look at this place. Alright. Doesn't look very appealing, but it's a pretty big block. So that's just around the corner from, I'm over here. Like I'm sort of out of the screen. This shop. They show the Penrith Regional Gallery. Even though it's not the house, they're showing you all the stuff around it because their house is so shit. They show you everything but the house. Notice that? So the house is probably falling apart in a fucking slum. Because why wouldn't you show the internals of the house, right? Anyway, 1.1 to 1.2 million dollars, and they don't even show you the inside. That's what we're dealing with. The grilled eel, unagi, yeah. Wife's favourite order at sushi places. Funnily enough, usagi means rabbit. Rabbit? Sorry, it's behind a love heart in the corner of this stupid fucking OBS piece of shit. So I can't read your full comment. Big focus on the curries. Eel must be heavily covered in carbon, yeah. Smoked eel in Denmark. Yeah, the fish eaters. They love their smoked stuff. I think Iceland's another place I really want to see one day. I want to do the Route 1 drive, a couple of days. It's a ring road that loops around the whole island. That would be good to do. I want to go to Grytviken, which is a abandoned whale oil island. It's like 4 inhabitants, but Michelle will freak out thinking that they're going to murder us or something, so all you foodies should check out the channel Tasting History with Max Miller. I think I've seen that guy. He made the ship biscuits and he's got like 50 million views. Is that guy? Look, Google ship biscuits. So yeah, he recreates old recipes. Just don't try the piss shark. You're talking about the what's the word? Harken? Something like that. Harkle? G'day, Pete. How you going, legend? Do I owe you a repair, or did I finish it? I can't remember. Oh, no, I'm doing the Ampeg for you. That's right. Was that a go-ahead, Pete? I can't remember. I don't think I saw the approval come through for the quote. Breaded and fried eel is delicious. As a kid, it was one of the only 2 types of fish my fussy nephew would eat. Unfortunately, eels are a threatened species now, really. Once so common, we used them as bait. It's getting to the point there's so many people on the planet that everything's going to be fucking endangered soon, so you won't be able to eat anything. Alright, go and eat some air. Enjoy your air. Oh, you bastard. Good fried food isn't oily. Yes, exactly. We went to the local brewery around here the other day because I was craving some brisket or something, just something smoked. It was the most oily fucking heap of shit I've ever had. I didn't have it. Even their chips, their fries were like just soaked in oil. So it means their oil isn't hot enough. It's actually got a chance to soak in before it forms a crust on the outside. So that is bad management of your deep fryer. It was disgusting. It was just a pile of shit. But I didn't complain because I don't complain about food. I just don't eat there again. Simple as that. I should have gone to sushi instead. It would have been way healthier. Their beer's good. Their wings and stuff are good, and their burgers are great, but don't have their smoked stuff. It's just shit. Rusty Penny. Sorry, Rusty Penny, but your food sucked. I hope you pick up your game, but I'm not going to buy it again and find out, so... I'll still have your burgers, though. They've got reverse seared cheeseburgers, which are really good. So they smoke the patty and then sear it. That's awesome. Yeah, the oil was too cold. Yeah, that's right. It's not hot enough. But it was like raging middle of the day lunchtime service, so it's not like they just turned it on or they turned it off and turned it back on for us. It should have been right. Oh, listen to that syrupy goodness. Knob alignment's out. Let me just adjust that. Got to have your knob alignment right. It works. It's happy. So, Brandon, now you know that all your stuff's ready to pick up. So I'll see you later on. Eggplant parmesan. Sounds good. Haven't had that in years. Yeah, eggplant's good. Eggplant's kind of just a flavour vehicle. Have your old connectors back. Play the forest. I don't know what that is. Sorry. Too busy playing Pantera. I remember being a teenager. And they're like, oh, did you know that that song's about a prostitute? There's a new pill for crooked knobs. Big Pharma wants to tell me about every 5 minutes. Yeah. So I was listening to ABC Radio here. I might start broadcasting some of that for you Americans to hear our radio, because as far as I know, it's public domain. I might set up one of the Valve radios and just have a live stream going, so you can listen to our Australian news radio, or just the general ABC Sydney radio via one of Dad's restored radios. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Anyway, they were talking about social media and how the algorithm feeds on itself and reinforces things that you show interest in, regardless of if that interest is positive or negative. So you probably notice Facebook being a fucking pile of shit, and if you dislike something and get rid of it and say, I don't want to see this, what does it do? It just gives you fuck tons more of it. So you can't tell me that's not on purpose. So they're talking about making it law in Australia that you should be able to reset the algorithm, so there's no preference. That should be a legal requirement that you're able to do that. Because what's happening is 12-year-old boys are getting sent fucking misogynistic cockhead material, and then they say, I do not like this, don't show me any more of this, and then it just shows you 3 more, and then you go no to them, and then it shows you 6 more. So they're talking about making it so you can just reset the algorithm. I think that'll be fantastic as a requirement legally that they have to do if you press the button. The phaser sound of the Cure. Oh, okay. I've got to get into the Cure, Lyle. One day. Sometimes I let bands sit there and I ignore them until one day I really get into them. When I can offer them, the attention they deserve. So I'll do that with the Cure one day, because I'm starting to think more and more about them. And when I start thinking about a band more, that's usually right before I get into them. What are we going to do now? Let's do a PV mace, because my back is functioning too well and I need to break it. And I haven't pooed my pants this week, so let's lift this amp and then I'll poo my pants. Jesus, even the casters sound like they're struggling. Oh, there's no knobs. That's nice. The Cure awaits. So good. YouTube does that too. Yes, YouTube does that. You should be. Yeah, Andrew Tate, that fuckhead. Yeah, incel bullshit. The fact that you're a 12, 13-year-old boy, Facebook knows this, so it targets you with that shit. It's fucked up. Free speech and whatnot, but fucking hell. You should be able to at least reset it so you don't get targeted with fucking horrible, horrible shit. Alright, are we ready? I know what's where that. How do you know? Could be fucking mice in there, could be cockroaches, you don't know. Could be illicit substances. You never know with PV. Alright, now I've pulled a muscle up my back there last week because I grabbed an amp and just reefed it up on the bench to act like a big tough man. So I'll be a bit more careful and considered with this one. Alright, I can already see that the speaker surround is fucked because I can see light through it. So that's not good. Looks like something's been eating the speaker. We've got voice coil rub. Hear that? So the speaker's fucked. Both of them are fucked. Let's give it some signal to show you that. Grapeseed and olive, depending on temperature. Is that what's inside the PV? Bro, do you even lift? Sometimes. Bro. That sounds wrong coming from your mouth, Lyle. Bro. Do you even lift? Alright, Sprecken. Show me your foibles. Someone's put some nice crimp connectors on it. Seems a bit of a waste for speaker that's fucked. Hear that? Sounds lovely, doesn't it? Yeah, that'd sound great. Yeah. Alright. Mice ran off with the knobs. I think he said he's got the knobs at home. But I think just replacing the two speakers, it's already going to be over budget. But we'll have a look for shits and giggles. Gigs and schnitzels. Really wanted to go see a band last night. It was a doom sludge metal band playing in Penrith, and I was like, fuck, I've got to go see that. But then I had to catch up with mates who I haven't seen for ages, so it would have been great if it was on tonight, because I'm left to my own devices tonight. I could go and be a little metal whore somewhere. Alright, so there's a missing valve. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 output valves, 6L6 GCs, electron tube. Oh, what's that? Is that shagwang? Shoe gang? Part of the shoe gang? We've got a reverb tank down the bottom that's not connected to anything. Let's just check the impedance of that for fun. 172 ohm, 174 ohm, so that's probably alright. It'll be solid state driven, I assume. Being a PVOS. Shits and giggles until someone giggles and shits. Richard, it's called canola here, but prefer grapeseed and peanut oil for high temp. Peanut is more expensive. Yeah, I love peanut oil for stir frying. I also use that stuff for making my chili oil. Electron tubes are AliExpress bullshit. Oh, okay, right. So he's bought them online. I think he mentioned that actually. And he cracked one putting it in, so there's one missing. Sounds like my broken dishwasher. Just shot off a repair approval. Ah, thanks Pete. I'll get on it, mate. So that was the MPEG from previous episode. It's rough, but it's redeemable. And it'll be a weapon. Bruh. Doom guys love old solid state PV. Doom guys love all sorts of weird shit. But I love Doom, so they can love what they want. I'll keep it running for them. Someone's painted those. With... looks like a roller. Like a house paint roller. Alright, let's transfer this over to the other bench so I can come back with the chassis. The other bench, just my massive long bench. My massive god tier bench. Oh, mercy. Yeah, maybe Lyle was right. He does know what's in this thing. Alright, so recap. Required. Looks like screen grid dropper, standby Yeah, screen grid dropper at some point has fucking caught fire and been replaced with some terrible work. We've had one Illinois capacitor removed and then put back in by the looks of it, because it's cut and then its leads. It might be a replacement very early on, but it looks like the same brown glue as the factory. Got the world's most expensive input jacks, which probably need replacement anyway because they're corroded. Lots of questionable work. We've got metal shavings on the board from someone drilling something somewhere. Oh yeah, down here. It's a hole drilled for some reason. Just got a grommet in it and nothing else. Maybe someone ran a cable out for some modification at some point. So yeah, you're talking pretty heavy rebuild territory. Plus, who knows how those valves are, and they're not a match set anymore because he smashed one. So all we can really do is, I'm not going to even power this up. All we can really do is passively test the transformers and give them a quote for a recap, clean up, reversing shit work, cleaning up wiring, probably new input jacks. Might be able to replace 2 of those valves with a match pair and just replace one of them and the missing one. But yeah, there's no telling if those valves are any good. Like Alex said, AliExpress bullshit. They're probably fucked or not reliable or balanced. Did peanuts become expensive all of a sudden? Who knows these days, good and shit's like this. It's a great peanut shortage of 2024. Okay, yeah, whatever. We'd just believe it and pay more for it. So they could just be making shit up. Who knows, mate? But I think this one will be a dead duck. I don't think he'll approve that quote, especially with the 2 fuck speakers. You'd be talking probably approaching $1,500 to get this thing reliable, and then it's a heavy PV that probably doesn't sound fantastic. Anyway, I'll write out what's required. He has paid for a bench fee. So, oh, this is good. Someone soldered the leads to the end of the cap. Ah, it's funny. Look at this, champions. Suppose I should check the discharge before I touch them, eh? Probably a good idea. I don't reckon this has been turned on in a long time. But yeah, 0 volts. Climate change is becoming the excuse for all price hikes. Well, it's kind of not the excuse either, Richard. It's the reason. So can't expect things to keep going when we fucking disrespect the planet with absolute impunity. Here's some tech's idea of replacing a cap. That's good, isn't it? It took more than 2 bends to break off, so that's a plus. See that? You break the lead off. No worries, champ. Just solder it back on. I know it's aluminium, but it'll take. You ever solder to aluminium? Nope. Didn't think so. Right, so I'll give a quote to pretty much... you know what? This thing, it's kind of a... It's probably the point where you should just fucking put another board in there and build an actual amp in it. If you're going to do all that, may as well get one of Jace's Cali boards and make it a fucking fire-breathing beast. Imagine one of his Cali boards in this thing with 6 output valves. That'd be a fucking legend. Alright, have a quick look at the other side. Oh, except for that cap. So, tobacco. Yellowed. It actually looks a lot more yellow than it looks on the screen. I think the white balance is a bit off. Maybe it's just the exposure. Yeah, it's more what it looks like. Don't increase temps and CO2 benefit plant life. Not if it gets wiped out by a fucking storm every 5 minutes. Or drought. Come on, pull your head out of your ass. Fucking fire. Like, we had no wine production in pretty much all of 2019, 2020 because the fucking grapes are all spoiled by smoke. So you couldn't make wine out of them. So it pretty much shut down the wine industry for like 3 years. Because the whole fucking country was on fire. I'm going to assume you were joking there, BC Electronics. I don't think anyone with a technical mind could be that stupid. Let's put that cabinet aside, out of the way. All the foil's peeling off the top too, so that probably landed in the amp at some point and caused a bunch of drama. The chipboard front face is starting to degrade somewhat as well. What? Pardon me. Alright, I've got a Dean Markley CD60. If you could see it, that'd be good, wouldn't it? Dean Markley CD. Can't see anything. Single channel 5150 red channel would suit that. Yeah, if he wants to pay. So these are apparently what INXS used on one of their albums. I don't know. There's a bunch of internet discourse about that. Now this one was donated, I guess you could say, because the quote to fix it was above their expectations and they were just going to sell it anyway. So Fender clone. What is this? No, it's a completely different amp to a Fender. So I know six from Dr. Gear isn't here because he had one of these that kicked his ass for a good couple of weeks. I think he finally got there in the end, but it was like I had this problem, and then he fired it up, and now the output transformer's playing up, and then he did that, and then it shorted. It was just like never ending. But I think that was more from previous hack work than and neglect more than anything else. By the time it came to him, it was pretty well buggered. But he got there in the end, so he hates these things now. Yes, the Mace. Is the Mace a Fender copy? I don't know. I haven't looked at the schematic yet. Should probably do that. I'll do that when I'm doing the quote. I'll write them up tonight. Amid designing my next amplifier series, which is a bit exciting. Making a couple of 50 watt high gain heads with a FET boost front end. FX loop built in to the board. And compact little head cabinets. Little 2.5 channel beasts. Richard, yeah. I mean, the planet's going to be fine. It's just our conditions that we've created and like are not going to be. So what? I've had crank, I've had speed, I'm jacked up until I bleed, so what? So this thing's got a hybrid front end, so valve and solid state, and it's got a valve output stage. Oh shit, I just remembered I've got to write an email. It's tax time. Well, not really. It's my tax time because it's late. I have a PV Juice VT, which is a lower power version of the Mace. Are they the same preamp there, Jim? Need some longer On a Velcro cable tie here. Bear with me. So we've got a new application for our funky 6.5 digit digital multimeter that I think I showed you in the last stream. A mixer that I worked on a while back has a shorted rail somewhere in the mixer, so that's exactly what I bought that unit for. So when he brings that in, I'll hopefully have enough time to do a video on the rundown of how you track down a fault in a massive system. For those 3 people that are interested. I dropped one once. Dropped the deuce. $40 minutes till opening, champions. I'll cut the stream off at 10. We'll go 7 till 10 every Saturday, eh? 7 till 10 live stream, and maybe 1 or 2, you know, members only live streams in a month. What I was going to do is start doing almost like sort of like current affairs in the music industry, like news, a little bit like Ola does, Sunday with Ola or whatever, and then chop it up. So I'll do a live stream with some segments, maybe stuff that people suggest for me to look into, and I'll just read up on it and then chop that live stream up into little 10-minute bites. So that'll make the video editing easier and quicker, less work, but more views and more interesting content in bite-sized form. But we'll keep doing what we do as well. On top of that, Skinner used them on one more for the road. Was that the PV Juice? I think that's why they're famous. Oh, hiccups. Hey, here he is. Pardon me. The chassis on the CD series is so weak the aluminium starts shearing. This one's steel. Is it? Yeah. The main chassis is steel. And the end plates are alley. Oh, we've got notes. Hang on, I'll give you the view, eh? Does that look good? Not too washed out? It looks good on there, but it looks washed out on the overhead. I'll trust the computer screen rather than the overhead. So, the old half job hazard again. Changed out 2 caps there. VC components, good caps, but they're radial. This looks to have been done some time ago when axial caps are still readily available. They're still available today. And they're not particularly expensive. So, recap, including these. We'll have to do that one day, but the day's not here yet. We can still use axials for valve stuff because they're available in high voltages. Low voltages, they're getting harder and harder to find, but in high voltages, they're still happy. Supposedly marked not for use to PV Juice early on. Yeah, and early on's when the music was made that everyone listens to, so who cares if he has a fucking Lazy J now? The songs that he wrote in his formative years were PVs, so buy a PV instead of a buy a PV instead of a Lazy J. Solid advice. The Juice only has 2 screen grid resistors for some reason. Yeah, I've got no idea why they did that. When are you throwing up final episode on the Messer, Brad? Yeah, it's footage is shot. I've just got to edit it. I'll probably do that tonight. I've just got to get a connector for the fan. It's got one of those annoying 120 volt plugs, like the American Japanese style. So, someone's left a message. Preamp 8. I guess that means and transformer have endured a voltage surge sometime. What's a voltage surge? So I've noticed a lot of people when they just talk about stuff, like if something catches fire, oh, it's had a surge. Oh, there was a surge. It's like a word when they use when they don't know what happened. Oh, there's been a surge. Well, there hasn't been a surge. It's not fucking Beverly Hills Cop. Surge. There's been a fire. That's not a surge. There's been a fire of two things, it looks like. So something is shorted out. You got the wispy little bits of soot. That's vaporized PVC cable jacket. It's condensed on the cabinet. So that's happened and then it's been repaired. But I reckon that's flyback damage because the socket looks blackened. So I reckon that socket would have to be, or both sockets would have to be replaced because that's probably tracking through the resin itself. Someone's replaced the screen grid and left the other one. Just again, same old shitty work. Same old story. Every fucking single amp that comes in's got dodgy work done to it. It makes me feel very... it's part of the reason I keep going, champions, because if I stop and go get a real job, yous are all going to be stuck, local musicians are all going to be stuck with whatever fuckwit is out there doing this shit. So it makes me carry on. So, recap. Replace 2 sockets. Check the output valves. Check the transformers before doing anything. Check the speaker. And then go on to check the preamp is functioning as intended. I've got schematics for this, so all good. I think we've got everything we need to sort it out. But being that it's been donated, I'll do that at my own leisure, whatever that is. At least we know what we're in for, providing the transformers are okay and the speaker's okay, which I think I already tested. We should be able to put that one up for a couple $100 and should suit someone well. What's next? Angle. Foot switching issues. I've cut off repairs again. I can't remember if I already said that or not, but not taking any more repair jobs until next month because we're chock-a-block. I'll give you a quick look at the Mesa. Quick preview for anyone that's cool enough to be on the live stream. I need a real job too. Have you finished your PCB yet? Probably cheaper to use that. Yeah, but it's a completely different style amp. But yeah, I could use that, Alex. Good point. I've got 5 on the way because that was minimum order. They're coming on Monday, Alex. They're arriving on Monday, the boards, according to the tracking. So I'm very excited. I'm excited! So do you want to have a listen to this thing? We'll do a vote. Funny, watching YouTube doesn't pay. Yeah, I don't know any way you can make money by watching YouTube. There's probably a way though. Someone's probably paying research people or some shit. Yeah, what do we say? Do we want to listen to it? Do you want to have a quick listen and a little preview? Ooh. Andy Fuchs is making some tweed amps. Nice. They look very cool. If you can see a Fuchs amp, just buy it. Andy's a legend. He'll support you. Go vegetarian for most meals and stick to 1 or 2 coffees a day. Those things alone should cut your heart attack risk by about 25%. Yeah, I was talking to Michelle about that. we probably will push more vegetarian in the future for various reasons. Stream yourself reacting to YouTube vids. Yeah, that's the way to earn money. Yep, true. Content stealing is a thing. Let's have a listen and see if it sounds better than my Mark IIB conversion. Alright, challenge accepted. So the reverb on these was notoriously weak, but I had no idea it was that weak. So I think all that additional shit that was in there, or at least some of it, was an attempt to get more gain in the reverb. So what they did is just drove the fuck out of the driving valve and pushed it into cutoff, and that's why all the distortion was happening. But I think that extra valve that was down there was actually to get more reverb out of the amp. But anyway, all that's gone now, and I've done some tweaks to the circuit, which increased the reverb level to an acceptable level. It's still not washy Fender, you know, Dick Dale reverb, but that's kind of not what these things are about. But it's good and it's acceptable, and it's healthy sort of dwell to it, whereas before it just fucking wasn't there. You could barely hear it, and that was the stock circuit, mind you. Had a Peltier cooler to make the faux heatsink heat up. Yeah, I've made money learning to do amp repair from YouTube. Not much, but I'm just getting started with doing capacitor replacements. I was thinking, Eric, because a lot of us have done like, here's the issues with the Hot Rod Blues series, blah 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 blah. All of a sudden I stopped seeing them. They stopped coming in. I'm thinking, fuck, I wonder if we shot ourselves in the foot here, because they were pretty sweet jobs. Everyone whinges about them, but they were actually pretty good jobs, including like the classic 30s and that. Assuming they weren't burned to a crisp, they're actually pretty profitable jobs to just, known factor jobs to just turn over. And then they all of a sudden stopped. I'm thinking, fuck, did we teach them all how to do it? Now everyone's just doing their own. Did we shoot ourselves in the foot? And I think I literally mentioned that last stream or recently. Now I've got like 3 of them. So I think it was just a bit of a lull there. But their values definitely dropped. I think one of my very highly esteemed customers, he's got some fucking notches on his belt. I'll tell you what. He pulled me aside once and said, dude, I don't think you understand, you and the other techs, I don't think you understand how much you are actually impacting the industry. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, when you show how fucked an amp or a product is, people are taking notes. Like, that's probably impacting their sales. And I go, I'm thinking, really? I mean, the channels that just love everything have millions of views, like millions. They're just, oh, this is the best thing ever. Oh, this one's the best thing ever. Oh, this one's the best thing ever. Oh, they're all the best thing. Oh, this is better, but then that's better. That's better than that, but that's better. They're the ones that get all the views. And then people come to our channel and they're like, what a pile of shit. Like, why are you shitting on the amps? We're not shitting on the amps. The amps shut on themselves. We're cleaning it up. But I hope it has an impact. I hope people stop buying shit amps. I hope Mesa Boogie go broke, because they deserve to. I hope Fender go under, because they deserve to. I hope Marshall go under, because they deserve to. Fuck them. I hope Friedman, Sir, and Fukes and all those companies take over from them and make a good living. One thing about being vegetarian, you have to have enough essential amino acids, proteins, building blocks and transporters. We get in abundance from meat, but yeah, BC Electronics probably won't go full on vegetarian, but like cutting it down to like maybe 1 or 2 meals a week. Because we've done that in the past without even meaning to. Like, we just like got to the end of the week, and I said to Michelle, you know, we only ate meat twice this week. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, don't even notice. If you're cooking good stuff, like stir fries and fried rice and stuff, you don't need it. I've been vegan for 15 years, no regrets. Good on you, Lou. There've been a lot of old Fender amps surfacing on tech channels. Yeah. I don't know. It's been in the States is the big one. But like, the shit that I fucking have to fix here, it's just really frustrating seeing these channels that just have fucking black and silver face Fenders just over and over and over and over and over and over again, like all eyelet board construction over and over. It's like, doesn't it get boring after a while? watching that stuff. But people seem to just love it. And they get heaps of views. I don't know. And then here's me fucking rebuilding a Mark III from scratch. The used market in Australia is highly depressed right now, so it's impacting resale of amps. Therefore, the value proposition of repair also diminishes. Yeah, well, I give them a price and they can say yes or no. I'm planning a 50 or 100 watt Marshall build for B+. Should I use radial caps like Nichicon, Rubicon in place of the traditional can capacitors for reliability and serviceability? Jimmy Mac, absolutely if you can. If you're designing a circuit board or an eyelet board, there are ways to mount them on turret board, sorry. There's ways to mount them on a turret board that make them easily replaceable without removing the turret board itself. On a PCB, you're kind of going to have to probably make the board so it can at least be flipped up, which is what I'm doing with mine. But yeah, you can the choice and the quality and the reliability of radial capacitors is fucking massively better than any axial capacitors these days. Axial capacitors are on life support. They won't be available for long. So I'd suggest for future proofing of your amp, go radial if you're designing it from scratch. Enjoy your channel. Been a vegetarian for 65 years. Good on you, Martin. Sorry, mate. Are you saying sorry to me for getting all the good amps, Lyle? Means more people are buying used gear rather than repairing what they have. Hot Rod Deluxes are down 25%. Yeah, I have noticed the price dropping a bit as well. Been lacto vegetarian my whole 33-year life. No shortage of amino acids. Blood work comes back great even when I'm eating 4 poached eggs a morning on a bulk. I made a 5150 split board recently for a guy. Radials all the way. That's the way, Alex. Radials all the way. Was planning to mount turrets and bend silicon to the board. Yeah, that's the way to do it, Jimmy Mac. You sit the capacitor over sideways. I did this in my Princeton reverb at home, which I was going to actually bring down today and show you the guts off, but I'll wait till I've got less work on, and we can do a fun little video on that. Excuse me. Would I be comfortable laying a radial on its side while using a turret board? Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Have I got a photo of that? I'd have to go looking for it. The internet's fucked. Nikki is a certified yoga instructor. I can't get her to eat the stalks of broccoli. I love broccoli stalks. I have broccolini, which is just stalk. No, man, I'm just tall. What? You and Lyle are monumental giants in the amp world, at least us for taking notes. Well, we're kind of not, BC Electronics. Lyle is, but I'm fucking below 10,000 subs. I'm a nobody. Probably because I swear too much and YouTube cripples my viewership. But hey, you come here for entertainment. If height is an issue, Worth caps are great. Oh, do they make little stubby ones, do they? Any opinions on solderless patch cables? I haven't used them, Martin, but I'll probably stay away from them just on my instincts. Anyway, let's try this thing. Got a cab down there. Yep, sweet. We're plugged in. We've got the mic plugged in. Yep. We're monitoring. No, I'll turn that off. I'm not going to monitor it. However it sounds is how it sounds. Broccoli stalks peeled with a little salt. Yeah, I love stuff like that. Any vegetable in a fucking red hot wok, a little bit of peanut oil, fucking makes anything awesome. Yoga and broccoli is a dangerous combo. Yeah, the old cruciferous vegetables. You gotta watch them. Good one. Alright. No variac. We're going balls to the wall. Full power. I'll go half power. No, I'll go full power. Let smoke out. Turn the EQ midway, even though I know that sounds like arse. Master. Lead drive. Up a little. Up a little. Go reverb at 12 o'clock. Pull for bright. It might take me a while to dial this in, champions. It is a messer, so bear with me. They don't sound good out of the box. We all know that. I fart all day when I eat broccoli. It doesn't affect me, eh? I've heard things, but Mogami seems to be good. So you've used them, Alex? I just haven't used them. They're probably fine. Such confidence. It's almost like I've already tested it, Lou. Ping. We're on 125 watts, dropping down to 110. Well, a bit crackly. I haven't cleaned the pots yet. I've got to do that yet. I'll just turn my mic off for a sec. The lighting's fucking with it. This lighting's really noisy, so, you know, don't worry about the buzz. You know what would help the reverb? Actually having your tank attached. That might make it sound a bit better, eh? 1 second. Stick the tank on the floor. Treble 9 bass. Whatever. Wireless reverb. Yeah. So the reverb is a little, you can hear there's a little bit of distortion in there, so I probably went a bit too far. I might pull it back a little bit. C18, so yeah, I think that was roughly that chord progression. But yeah, the reverb's now like at 12 o'clock's about where I'd probably live with it, and there's more to go from there, right? So massively increased reverb send and return signal. So much so I could probably pull back the send a little bit to clean it up a bit, because you can hear under higher gain there is a little bit of distortion, but the clean channel does break up when you push the front end quite hard anyway. So let's show you that now. Now I'll just yeah, I'm aware of the treble shift only working when it's on the lead channel. Now I didn't know that. I looked at the schematic and it became clear that it's enabled by an LDR, and it enables an LDR and whatnot. So I know that now. I sound like an idiot in previous streams all the time. Who was the Doom band out at Penrith you were going to see? Shit, I've already forgotten their name. God. I can't remember anything today, Pete. Sorry. I'll look it up before I go. I took the cathode cap off the first stage. Yeah, so we're gonna voice this, Alex. Oh, see you, Martin. Take it easy, champ. We're gonna voice this, but to start with, because it was so far off the mark, we're starting with the stock circuit, right? More or less, other than reliability mods and fucking with the reverb to make it not shit. He's gonna come have a listen, and we're gonna go from there. But basically, he wanted a Mark III. Now he's got a Mark III, warts and all. And if he wants to do any voicing from there, we're gonna deal with that as we come to it. A few things that were difficult. Finding a linear 25k pull pot was fucking impossible. So I went with a audio taper one. So that puts there's still a pretty intuitive travel on the middle pot. And the one that was already in there was logarithmic anyway. So it may be at a different point in the pot's travel to be the same as like a 12 o'clocker on the original. Having said that, who knows what Messer used? I don't know. But it seems intuitive. Nothing seems way out of whack in terms of the EQ pot travel. So I think we're good to go with that, because I just went with the Burns ones, which have the 3/8 bushing and suit the stock knobs as well. We can actually tighten them on that carefully. Yeah, 10k linear was even harder to find, Alex. There was some 25k linear ones made by Burns at some point, but I can't get them unless I order 20,000 of them. 10k linear pull pots were never manufactured by Burns. You hear that distortion in the reverb send? So I'll pull back the gain on the driver stage to stop that from happening. That's at the volume maxed out, mind you, on the input. So let's get into chuggy tones. The bass is all the way down 6. Wait for it, the mess of fart. There it goes. So anyway, a lot better than it was. Just got to clean the pots. Check out any leakage on that cap to the presence, because that's scratchy, but I think that might just be the pot. Pull back that reverb a little bit. And do the mains wiring, make that a bit safer as well and more logical. Yeah, playing's up to shit at the moment. I need to sit down and play more. I'll do that tonight, when I'm left to my own devices, so I can make annoying noise at home. Countless hours went into that Champions. I can't charge by the hour on that one. That would be fucking 10 grand. Because the worst part with Messer is... yeah, okay, you've pretty much got to trace out the whole fucking thing, because the schematics are useless. Even the ones I found online were all over the shop. But, like, where does that wire... So, yeah, you got a tone stack, but where do the wires go? Oh, they go to pad 2. Okay, but there's 3 pads labelled pad 2 on that fucking PCB. Okay, which one? And you got to do that for every single connection. You've got to go through and establish exactly where it is, like what resistor it's attached to, what's that resistor attached to. Okay, well, that's the correct one. And then for every wire that goes to the board, you've got to do that over and over again. So just so many hours, so many hours. Look, I'm open to doing them in the future again, but it's going to be like, no, open time scale thing. Let me do them in my own time. As I do more and more of them, I get better and better at them, and I remember them. And that's part of the reason I make the videos. So when an amp comes in, I'm not making them for you dickheads. I'm making the videos so when another one comes in, I can get myself up to speed again with the issues with it. My own video back, right? It's for my own reference as well. Alright, let's get on to the angle. Let's come at it from another angle. It's time to open the shop, champions. I don't know, I feel like carrying on. What do you reckon? I was going to cut it off at 10, but depends how busy we get. No one might turn up. We don't know. I'll just open the shop. It's drizzly, rainy, shitty weather. Oh, there goes one of my mates. Driving past. He owns a boat cover, like an upholstery business around the corner. He does boat covers. Good on you, Al, if you're watching. Legend. This is like a pretty main arterial, I guess, road that I'm got the shop on. So you often see people passing by every day. There's a couple of people beeping. Did I turn on my fuck off sign? Yes, excellent. All right, angle. So what's going on with this one again? Let me have a look. I've got to get tomorrow pairs. Nobody going to be coming into the store today, that's for sure. Not with that attitude. Something ball. Yeah. Yes, I did do a lot of work, Joe, and I've got the eye twitch to prove it. Now make a clone kit. No thanks. Playing was great. Ah, come on. I was missing notes all over the place. It was a funny angle. I gotta run. See you, Lyle. Dinner time. You be careful with those storms over there. I see there's a couple of tornadoes kicking off. Oh, 6 is off too. I've got to get tomorrow pairs. Oh, okay, that's bye. Okay, see you, 6. See you, Lyle. From Messer to angle. Yeah, I know. What am I doing? I'm looking at blank job sheets. What a fucking dumbass. Where's my job sheets? One sec, champions. Just get some shop vibe music happening. Right, what have we got on the queue? To be assessed, not to even repair yet. I wish attitude was the only reason, but the rain and the economic woes around here has just made everything. Put a speaker out on the street, 6. Play music to the street. Draw people in. Make it warm and inviting environment. Get all your lighting done. Put up some fairy lights. Make it a fucking comfortable, inviting place to be, and you'll get more people coming in to browse, and that will result in more sales eventually. Put a speaker on the street and put music to the street. Play music in your shop. Have a good vibe. Every time I've walked to your shop, it's been dead quiet inside. It's a fucking alien environment. It makes me want to go back out the door. Play music in the shop. Make it good music. Brew coffee in your shop. All the real estate bullshit. All that kind of stuff. Oh, hey Jace, how you going? Offer espresso. There you go. Get coffee brewing. Fucking make popcorn. Alright, got a Gibson LP Special, Advantage VAS 8445 I've got to get to today. Ibanez Prestige, Fender Jag, Fender acoustic thing, PV Mace we've already looked at, Dynacord PowerMate, which I've got to get to, Engel Powerball E645, going into valve fault detect mode. Okay, I thought it was a foot switch problem. Achilles Princeton Reverb, SX Mini Strat, Samick SMP 4000, Marantz SR 7007, Burns Bison Bass, Ampeg SVT 4 Pro, Furman Power Conditioner ×2, Rocktron Power Station, Ibanez Vi Steinberger. Alright, so it's going into valve protect mode. So I guess I'll need a schematic to figure that out. I should do a new quick store tour sometime soon since you rearranged. Is that difficult to do? Probably right now. Let's try it. Hang on. Where's my phone? I'm touching the mic, sorry. Oh, my phone's probably dead. Yeah, I'll do it later. I lost my phone. Oh, I'll put it on charge. Right, if I disappear, that's it for the day. But bear with me, give me 1 minute, I'll restart the stream. I've got to literally shut OBS to be able to tap into it on the phone. Cancel you, close you, don't want to talk to you. I think we're live. Let me double check. This is where I'll get flagged for background music because the phone picks it up, whereas the microphone on my headset doesn't. Alright, oh bloody Tone Talk's going live again. They keep cutting into my live stream. Where are we? This is me looking at my workbench. My channel. View your channel. Are we live? I think we're live. Alright, excellent. Shush, shush, shush. Alright, show the chat. Alright, we're live. So, clean workshop, clean-ish. There's my jumper I just took off. Here's all the amps that have either been assessed, waiting for parts, whatever. Here's the storeroom with all the stuff I've got to sort out. We're pretty full. A lot of monitors and stuff. These things are fucking dead duck. Crown doesn't support their products, so they go in the bin. New mainboard for this one, $900. Get fucked. Transformer for that one's burnt out. Not available. That's all stuff I've got to do. Guitars, stuff just to be assessed or waiting on parts. It's a whole shit fight at the moment. I've got to organise everything. This spilling out over here as well. So anyway, that's the tech side. For the shop, we've got our racks over here. We've spaced out a bit. Got these new mark-based things. They're actually really fucking good. He brought one in just to show me. I made him leave it. Never seen better fretwork on a production guitar from the factory. They're really good. I got the mark-based wall there. Let me clean the lens. Hang on. Alright, so this is sort of the display now. It looks a bit more badass. Looks a bit more inviting. So this is the experience, right? This is what it's like to come to Brad's Guitar Garage. You're in the rainy, shitty street. You know, Saturday, everything's dead. This is like industrial area, so Saturday's pretty quiet around here. You walk in, we're open. Alright, so that's what it's like walking into Brad's Guitar Garage. Everyone comes and looks at the pedals first. Got some Max on, blah blah blah. This is all the tech over here. Got the new Cali audios, got some new ones I've got to put up. Going to put these on sale for 50% off. They're display stock.
Normally $548 each. I'm going to do them for $548.95 for the pair. Project turntables. Allen & Heath, old school, as well as the new digital series. A second-hand Allen & Heath that I sold to a customer. They decided to go with a smaller one because they started doing duo stuff instead of band stuff. But it's in the road case. I'm going to put that up for sale soon. The road case there, which I was going to make a higher rig with, so when people bring their mixer or whatever and for repair, they've got one that they can hire off me to get the gig done. Here's their small project mixers, second-hand rack gear, second-hand hi-fi gear, more valve hi-fi gear, restored stuff, hi-fi speakers, PA speakers, DB Technologies, QSC, Cali Audio, Monster PA systems. They're fucking formidable. 18-inch subs, monsters. String wall, right? Little display stuff. Shayla strap locks. We do Damasio as well. Audio Technica and Autofon cartridges, machine heads and stuff. I just put them there instead of out the back. Didn't have room. Ernie Ball, Amphenol, Quick Lock. Mark Base now do strings. They're good, and I've got them introductory. They're cheap, $43, $53 nickel plated. Stainless steel ones are $73.95. But I'm doing them. You get your first set 50% off as an introductory thing. What did I say? String wall, yeah. Faith Acoustics. They've stopped bringing them in the country now, so I'm going to switch over to Takamine if I can. I want to get their Japanese stuff, but I hear there's a bit of a barrier to entry there, so we'll see how we go. Patch cables, picks, capos. Yeah, I'll show you accessories, slides, fret wraps, polished cloths, that kind of shit. So yeah, we've got the LTD, which I'm about to put up for sale. That's an EC 1000, mint condition with the original case. FGN, my favourite, love them. Sterling, people love them. Me, not so much. No, the shape is the Van Halen thing, whatever. I thought I'd get a Mariposa too because it looks cool. FGN, that's where it's at. This thing's a beast. I love it. This is when you hear me playing real heavy stuff, like down tune, that's the guitar I'm using. It's got Fishman Fluence pickups. Jared Dines because it's a meme and it's funny. We've got some affordable Tanglewoods over here. Guitar cases up here. Stands. Accessories, blah, blah, blah. This is the bass column. That's another one of those Mark Bass 5-stringers. I cracked open the electronics cavity in this. It's some of the best wiring I've ever seen in a production guitar, including the ones from the States. So anyway, that's the shop. Got some leather straps there, they're nice. Here's the kitchen. This is where the magic happens. It's a pretty big kitchen, so I should make more stuff. And here's my office, where I spend most of the time. Not really. I spend most of the time back here. Anyway, now you've seen it, I'll cut this off, go back to the other one. And we're back at the bench. Are there any other music shops in the area? Yeah, there's a few, but they're sort of like a suburb or two over. And we're back at the bench. They're big ones, but we're all on good
Are there any other music shops in the area? Yeah, there's a few, but they're sort of like
they send people my way
suburb
for
or two over.
I send people their way for
and we're back at the bench. They're big ones, but we're all on good Are there any other music shops in the area? Yeah, there's a few, but they're sort of like suburb or two over.
Send people their way for
yeah, but that's and we're back at the bench. They're big ones, but we're all on good Are there any other music shops in the area? Yeah, there's a few, but they're sort of like suburb or two over.
Send people their way for
modular. And we're back at the bench. They're big ones, but we're all on good. Are there any other music?
Sorry about that. Yeah, Allen & Heath are good, even the affordable ones, because the PCBs are modular. You can replace them. Sorry about that. That was psychedelic. I can do your Transformers, mate. Just don't be a bitch and give me some love jobs. No! I will be a bitch, and I won't give you love jobs. I'll make you... Alright, I'll send you a Transformer.
I'll post you this one, Alex. I'll send you a diagonal to rewind for me. I don't care what you do, just make it work. Shorted turns in primary. Do you want to rewind that for me? Is that worth doing? Probably not, but you'll do it anyway, won't you? Send it to you in the world's best shipping container. Look at that. It's like a little membrane, like out of Aliens. One of those eggs hatching, and it suspends it in midair. I'll send you that one. You can rewind it for me. I'll keep it as a spare for a 50-watt Marshall. I've got these transformers. I've got to test these actually. I'm building a JTM 50. And I've got a set of... What's that one? That's a Drake something or other. Doesn't have the usual sticker on it. Does that mean anything? $390. I know that's not the price. It's an old Drake. And that's an old Drake. Do you know much about them, Alex? I don't know why this was taken out. I've tested it and it seems fine. I haven't tested it under load or anything yet, but... Yeah, so I'm just building a slide JTM 45/50. The biggest difference of which being the rectification method. So it'll be switchable between valve and solid state. Too many Brads. I hope you muted it for that moment. So, email me your address, Alex, and I'll post it to you on Monday. I like the layout way better. It's kind of crazy how big difference new arrangement can have. You and Michelle kicked ass on it. Yeah, it makes people come in and look at the wall of amps, and as I get more impressive shit, and as I build my own amps, I'm going to get more lighting, because lighting is key. Lighting draws attention to stuff, and looks fantastic. You've got audio overlap now, have I? Really? Can you guys just give me a check on the audio? Does it sound okay? Oh, serious amplification. Okay, I didn't know if you had your address public or not. Sounds fine. Okay. That must just be someone that's back a bit in the stream. That's all good. Just hit the live button if you want to make sure you're up to date. Alright, let's get this thing apart and have a look. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to tell without studying the schematic over probably lunch. What am I going to have for lunch today? It's tempting to say ramen again. Don't know. Maybe I get sushi. There you go. Yeah, if anyone needs in Australia needs transformers, well, get on to Alex. We're going to convince him to quit his day job if it kills him. No, he's a smart man. He wouldn't quit his day job like me. Only fucking idiots like me and Six do that. Green Day fan. Dookie Crescent. I just called my kid champion and he looked at me like I was insane. Where are you from, Rob? I think you said earlier, but I forget. Rewinding transformers, our saviour. Yep. If you wound them from scratch, that'd be nice. Try Legend. There you go, Legend. Tell him to get a dog up him. See what he says. Montana. Hey. Yeah, so Alex just got doxed by Ted. Even though it's public information. Ooh, those valves look a little bit tired. Not a lot of getter left. The getter gone got. Maybe it is a bad valve. You reckon he changed them, I think? And it kept giving the bad light thing. But they look original. They're dusty. No one's touched them. That's a very small transformer for the amp that it is. Schmidbauer. Transformers made by Schmidbauer. It was at his site. Yeah, no, I'm joking, Ted. It's public information. There's something to be said about sleeping indoors and eating every day. Yeah. I don't know what that's in reference to, but yes, there is, Mark, and it's fun. I rewind from scratch too. You mean you wind from scratch? Because it's not if you're doing it from scratch. Do you get like the EI cores, like what it just comes as a bag of fucking metal? Or how does it work? I don't know anything about winding transformers. Everybody wants to rule the world. Really? I don't. That would be a fuck job. Brighton Steel EI lamps. So do they just come in a bag? Ooh, look at the little caps poking out the top. That's actually good because you can replace them. Problem is it can be stray voltages on the can, which aren't good. Alright, so they've got little LEDs. The little pew-pew LEDs pointing at the valves there. I don't like that kind of stuff. Don't waste money on this shit. It's just don't. The valve glows to a certain amount. You don't need to pretend that it glows more. So many manufacturers do that, eh? I don't like it. It really turns me off. Things like the Hughes and Kettner with their blingy lights and shit. And it's just cheesy. It's just low class. Minimum 12 kilogram on orders. So yeah, does it just come loose in a bag, or you're not answering me? Okay, Jackie, how you going, legend? Nice daggy desk mat. How about you give us a full screen of your pretty face? There you go. I tuned in just before my echo chamber. Yeah, technical difficulties. It happens. Got a few more wrinkles than when I saw you last there, Jack. Hope you're doing well, mate. Don't let the man bring you down and whatnot. Fight the power, all that stuff. Alright, this is fun. Can't work on anything because we can't see anything. What do? Just remove the board and then run it in midair? No, can't really do that. Do we change the valve first? I think that's the path forward. Let's see what this valve monitoring bullshit is all about. Let's see what it actually measures or senses. And let's see what it may be indicating. And we'll see if the circuit itself is failing, which is often the case for protection and detection circuitry. That circuitry itself fails rather than whatever it's detecting. You're still my favourite mountain man, miss you. Yeah, how's life up north? You still up in the sticks out there? Forgot they did that. Are you talking about the valve sensing or whatever? Not a fender. Exactly, Lou. If I was just doing tweed and 60s fenders every day, I'd get bored, to be honest. But I get tons of views. But we're not about views here, are we, champions? We're about watching me suffer. That's the name of this game. Fun fact, there's no silk screen on the bottom side either from what I heard from a friend. Oh, well, yeah, there's no silk screen on the bottom. I can confirm that. Oh, I need to eat something. I'm feeling weird. First, I'm going to get a schematic for this thing. What am I going to have for lunch, champions? Am I going to have ramen? Am I going to have sushi? Am I going to have Subway? Am I going to have Mexican burrito? How about you guys vote on what I should have for lunch? Angle. Alright, let's avoid some copyright here. Angle. Amps by model. Number E645 Powerball. But this isn't a Powerball 2, this is a Powerball 1. So that complicates matters. E645. It's very light for what it is. E645 Powerball. And then my schematic says Powerball 2. E645. Well, let's download that one and have a look at it. Oh, Powerball 1. E645-1. Alright, let's try that. I'm going to turn that music down before I get a copyright strike and my stream gets demonetized if it hasn't been already from my crew behavior. Ding, 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 ding. If I talk over it, they can't give me a copyright strike, so I'll just do that until I turn it down. It is Logic 1000. Promises featuring Rochelle Jordan. There you go. Just listening to Double J in the shop. It's for old hipsters like me. Ah, it's hurting my ears. Mexi Chow. Alright. You're the only one that voted, so I know. Nigel said Subway. Wife says always Mexican. We're still in the rainforest in the hills behind Byron Bay, God's country. Yes, it is. Much warmer than the Toontown. Yeah, that's not hard. Although everywhere's warm at the moment. Very happy up here in my little cabin with bandicoots and koalas. Beautiful. I have my gripes with Engel. Oh, don't say that. I don't get many of them, and usually they have been pretty minor stuff. Pretty much all the same throughout Engel range. Oh, okay. An Engel schematic, those are all falsified due to copy protection. So are you telling me the schematics are full of intentional errors? Forgot they flipped the board like fuckwits. How are you meant to replace the components? Yeah, well, you got to remove the whole board. So that will be priced accordingly. Mexican, alright. Everyone said Mexican, so I'm going to go into Penrith. I normally get Guzman and Gomez. And I get a spicy chicken burrito. But I might go to Mad Max. Oh, got a customer. It's just Brandon, everyone. He was previously viewing and now he's here. Here you go, mates.
Thank Yeah.
I'll flick you the invoice for that when I get a chance. I haven't had a chance yet, but
Yeah, sure.
no dramas. Let us know if you've got any more problems with them. I gave them a bit of a, well, as you saw, a bit of a clean up.
Yep.
And there's your old tips if you want them for whatever.
And do you want to pay the invoice online?
Yeah, I'll just flick it to you the Sabo or tonight. And
Yep, cool.
yeah, I know you're good for it.
Yep, cheers, perfect.
Cool, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Have a good weekend, eh?
You too.
Unless you want to join me on the live stream.
I'll watch it on the way back up the mountain. But,
Fair enough.
see ya.
No worries. Have a good one.
You too.
These are some weird valve retainers. They're like pressed metal. And then they've got a little pushed in segment of chassis. And that one's a shield as well. Look, that's some old school shit. That's the kind of stuff you normally see on Aussie amps. There are a lot of components missing and wrong values. Only service manuals have the correct components but don't list values. Ah. Well, let's have a look. So I primarily just want to know the method of this thing determining that the valves are fucked. So let's show you that. Okay, they're the same schematic. They look like the same schematic. Alright, so you got a cathode there, it's got a Zener, got a 4.7 ohm, and you've got, see that, V2, V4, V3, V1. I've got to slow down when I'm zooming, sorry, I keep getting comments on anything I show a schematic on that I'm zooming in and out too quickly, and everyone's like, stop it! Yeah, it's sort of a habit. I determine what I'm coming there to look at, and then I fuck right off. This is the kind of speed you got to do stuff in order to, you know, make a living. But I'll try to slow it down, champions. So there's V1. These are actually sense points. You can see it's got a little flag there. Not the most clear thing, but somewhere else they will feed into some sort of how you going champ setup, and it'll tell the front panel LEDs to light up. So where is that taking place? Oh, we've got 2 pages. Alright, so that's LEDs for the channel indication. Down here, is there anything? Nope. So this is all foot switching. Now, I have seen this before. Did I download it? Oh, no, here we go. Look. V1, V2, V3, V4. And there's relays. And the relays can either go to ground or to the valve. And then that is like a window comparator. And then that's driving the LEDs. So they've created a reference voltage plus 24 volts. And see here, you got 22k and you got 820 ohm. So what's that? What is that? That's a voltage divider. Where are these ones? Oh yeah, that feeds over there. So the 22k and the 820 are creating a voltage divided, voltage reference from the 24 volt rail, and that's feeding into the comparator negative input on all 4 op amps. So that's comparing a voltage on here with that reference voltage, and it's feeding 4 of those setups, 1 for each output valve, and it's pulling it from this point. and the voltage being developed between ground when standby is switched on and these 4.7 ohm resistors. So, one valve is lighting that up. So that means it's drawing excessive current, enough to drop higher than expected voltage across that 4.7 ohm cathode resistor. So why is that the case? Has it lost bias supply? Is the valve fucked? Probably. Or is this drifted, gone high? But if that's gone high, has it gone high or open because the valve failed? These are all questions, champions, that need to be answered. So the easiest way to do this is probably isolate the valve that's doing it, V1234, and just put a probe on that, and one of the good ones, which is painful but doable because we've got our bias probes that I was saying that I never used last week. So we'll chuck one of them in to one that it indicates is good and one that it indicates is bad. We'll check that there's a different actual anode voltage, and then if all the anode current, and if all the anode currents are the same, we'll check the screen grid resistor drop, see if it's one of them's got a shorted screen grid, because the anode current might be fine, but the screen grid might be shorted. In which case it would run away. It would affect the anode as well, but you can measure directly for excessive screen grid dissipation by measuring the drop on the screen grid resistor. And we'll also check the voltages on these resistors and see if we'll passively check the resistance first, before we do anything. So let's flip her over, we'll put it on the blocks, and then we'll just determine there's no charge in the caps, and we'll swap valves around and check valves and all that stuff. Swap valves, yeah, that's right. See you, Rob. Someone said see you, Rob. Rob. Oh yeah, kids don't want to watch me fix amps anymore. Oh, don't show me to your kids, I swear too much. They're not that heavy, really. I'm just joking. So, where the fuck is R20... what? 24? 74? Doesn't matter what it's called. We've just got to go off the... pinout for the valves. So, I've got the heater traces there. I always forget which pin is missing on an EL34 6L6. Throw in a t-shirt and an invoice when you send me those transformers. I've got to get the t-shirts printed first, Alex. I'll hold off. Actually, I've got to talk to old mate about getting the t-shirts printed. Alright. Just check we haven't got stray voltages anyway. Where are we? Let's just check across one of the caps there. F&T caps, branded angle. They've got their custom printing happening. No ground reference for the heaters? Really? Very thin traces, which is interesting. 1.3 volts. So blue and yellow are the plates. 3 and then 4 is the screen grid. Where does that disappear to? Are these resistors going diagonally? Yes, they are. Wow, that's another thing fucking me up too. Good on you, Angle. Alright, let's check the screen grids. Yeah, making components go diagonally on a circuit board is kind of like a bit of a taboo thing to do. Like, you'll get looked at pretty funny if you do it by other engineers. Generally, everything's sort of right angles and orthogonal. Angle. 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 That's why it's on an angle, because it's an angle. Alright, so that's pin 3, that's pin 4 then. Pin 5, that's the... Yeah, may as well check the grid stoppers. We can see all this just by using our brain holes, without needing to look at the component designators or any of that shit. I can see that they're all 2K grid stoppers, and they're all, you know, within tolerance-ish. Let's confirm that on the schematic. 2.2K, yeah, so they're all like 2.1, 2 point something. So that's all correct. So that's pin 5. Pin 6 is missing one. Pin 7 is heater. And pin 8 is a cathode. So that's a relay, that's a relay, that's a relay, that's a relay by the footprint. This is all deterministic buffoonery. So that's the relay. That must be the resistor there. So what have we got across that? 0.2 ohms. So that's not a resistor. That's a nothing. That's a short circuit. 371k. So that's not it either. Alrighty. Diagonal resistors on a PCB sounds like the best PCB board in the world. PCB board? That's a printed circuit board. Yeah, didn't you use diagonal on something, didn't you? Didn't you, Alex? Is that your one? No, I saw something in a Facebook post recently. Someone made an amp and half the parts were diagonal. Even the solid state relay, which is one of those white HF11 whatevers, was diagonal. What group was that on? That was on our group, wasn't it, Alex? Our group. I'm just a blow-in. Let me have a look. I'm really looking forward to building my amp now. I was dreading it, but now, having worked on the Mesa and dealing with a really, really shitty design, I'm getting super excited about building my amp. Scotty's messaging me. Facebook chat's broken again. What's new? I'll get back to you, Scotty, if you're watching. Where am I? Modern tube amp designer. There's a guy that posts in all caps. That's a mental illness. I don't know. Here it is. Save image. I don't want to dox the bloke, so I'll save it. Is this one you're thinking of, Alex? It looks good, like it's done fine. The electrons don't care. Actually looks a little bit reminiscent of like the Fender eyelet boards with, you know, makes sense. But I don't know, having that solid state relay on an angle sort of tweaks me a little bit. You see stuff like that in synths and stuff, modular synths, where they know you're going to look at the circuit board because they make it pretty, and pedals. Yeah. Let's see if I can find... of course I can find it. It's on KiCad. Let's have a look. Open project. OneDrive. Electronics. KiCad. Pornhub. production files. Production Rev B. Production Rev B, PCB. Man, this computer's slow when I'm streaming. View, 3D viewer. Alrighty then, we've got liftoff. So here's my board for my current project. ¿Por qué no los dos? I've put all the component designators above the component, so everything's easily readable, and everything's aligned vertically, or if it's horizontally, they're all aligned the same way, so it makes reading it a piece of cake. Triad 1, Triad 2, Triad 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 triads, 4 valves. Input jack, pot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The leads for these will be incredibly short to the pots. The leads to the valves will be very short, and they're sort of optimized on the board. I've got shielding where it matters. Ground plane where it matters. No ground plane where it doesn't. But yeah, I've basically laid out all the pads on what I wanted to go where first, and then sorted the components and the layout around that. And I think it's going to be fantastic. Hopefully it's good. So they're arriving on Monday. I got them in black though. I previously commented that I hate black PCBs because you can't trace them, but I've got the documents for this, so I don't need to trace it. But yeah, it's going to look really good in the thing with the Weimers and the not Zcon, Vishay resistors, and the Nichicon caps. I'm really looking forward to getting it up and running and tweaking it. 2mm, not 2.4. Or was it 2.4? Thick, whatever it is, not 1.6. See you, Andy. Have a good one, mate. Sent you the answering messenger. Let me have a look. Oh. Okay. It was a jab. Alright, so I've got to find these resistors. Where are the 4.7s? Let's have another look at the schematic. Sorry, just playing with the camera. There we go. That's what I wanted. Widescreen. I just noticed I was leaning over and all you could see was the top of my head. And that's not very pretty. No part of me really is. So we've got relays there, then we've got a Zener diode, and then we've got the 4.7. So they're attached to the 2 throws that are connected on the relay. Oh, so that's just a relay that's been paralleled to handle a current. Sorry, you can't see what I'm talking about. So that's just a relay that it's been paralleled, just to handle more current. It bypasses the Zener, so that must be a low power mode. Something to that effect. Not sure. Alright, so whatever ones are paralleled, those two, and that's currently closed. And that should be going to that resistor. Oh, but it's... Okay, so that's those two, and then that will be our 4.7. And it's about 620 ohm. $300K? What Why am I getting two different measurements? 300k. They're all like 300k, so I must be off there. Think we're gonna have to lift the board up, champions. It sucks, but it is what it is. So that should be pin 8. Uh, 0.2 ohms. That's bypassing the diode. Don't know, nothing's really making sense here, champions. We might have to lift the board. Oh, do we take a gamble on it now and just say, yeah, probably a set of valves? Just trying to figure out how far to dig into this before firing off a price. Directly vertical under the socket. Don't have a service manual for valves around the layout. Resistor checks out. Relay layout. The resistor checks out though. Oh, okay. So you're figuring out what's likely bullshit and what's not. Might get a mirror under there. See if I can see anything from the top. No. There's some cap holes, but they're pretty tight. Yeah, I might do a bit more research on this one. But I think I'm going to piss off, legends. Been going for what, 4 hours? So yeah, it's time for a cup of tea. Time for morning tea. So I might leave you there. You send me the Powerball 2 service manual. Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Just info@bradsguitargarage.com.au and I'll check it out. Thanks for that. So yeah, I might piss off, sort my shit out, fire off some emails on the stuff we've looked at today, and we'll see where they go. And I'll move on to the 2 Hot Rod Blues things today. Get them out the door. Finish that messer off. Get it, clean my hands of that one. And then on to the next one, which I don't know if you remember. I assessed it a couple of weeks ago before we went on holidays. And I had a good old-fashioned whinge about it. A Fender Silverface Twin that's been hacked up. So that'll be the next video series. So I'm going to go grab something to eat and a cup of tea, and I'll catch you around. So thanks for joining us again, legends. Hit like and subscribe, of course. You would have already. And yeah, thanks to our members. Thanks for everyone. And congrats to those who got gifted a membership from Jim. Thanks for that, Jim. And I hope you enjoy my swearing and member-only content, which I'm hoping to do more of as I catch up on repairs. So take it easy, legends. Have a good one. Get a dog up here. Be good to your mother and drink lots of water.